Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Mount Mindset. In the hot seat today, we've got Ollie Cook. It's been a long time coming. It was a bumpy road to get here, but he's finally in the hot seat. What we're going to dig into is what to do if you don't feel that you're like where you've been pigeonholed. If you're in school and you don't get the results, can you do something with your life? We're going to dig into that. We're going to find out the politics and issues with the military career, the good, the bad and the ugly, because we're going to find out that every dark cloud does have a silver lining. We're also going to find out what it takes to start a business, what it takes to endure, and how sometimes life can nudge you right back into the right path, and how we ended up with the Heavy Duty Gymwear. So Ollie's best known for his brand that he's created with this no-nonsense approach to bodybuilding, to hardworking guys, to be no-nonsense and no BS. And we're going to find out how that path formed, because it's a long, cool, fun and convoluted story. So let's dive right in to see where it began and how we ended up here. So without further ado, let's dive right in. How you find on getting staying with Big Adam?
Yeah, good.
Who's the most grumpy today, to Ricardo or Adam? I think they're close.
I don't think Adam's that grumpy.
No?
Nah. I honestly don't. And I don't think Ricardo's that grumpy.
Oh man, he must have been on good form. You want to see what I do to him
I
in the gym?
just don't know. I don't think they're grumpy. I think they just are who they are. Do you know what I mean?
How would you describe him?
What, Ricardo or Adam?
Both.
I'd say they're misunderstood.
By themselves?
Not by themselves. I'd say probably by others.
I don't think Adam's a happy boy. I don't know when the last time Adam felt happy was.
I feel like he has little
Glimmers, little glimpses.
glimmers of happiness.
Do you think he likes it?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say that.
I think he's the type of person that would like it and then feel a bit dirty for liking it.
I don't like feeling this way.
He's like, what is this?
Yeah, they're both really good blokes.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Ricardo's good. He's good. It was some response on that podcast.
Yeah, one of them had like 100k views.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And the other night I was fucking up at like 11:30 and I was reading through the comments of him replying to people and I was fucking creasing up. And I was sending it to Adam. I was like, I fucking love this bloke.
Well, he said to me, he was like, he was some drama to get on, man. I mean, he's the type of guy, he wants you to make a big deal about it.
Mm.
Like, he wants a fuss made over him.
Yeah.
So, it's because his fucking dad doesn't love him, man, and he needs somebody to love him. Mm. And he just comes, he just stamps his feet, and he's like, "No, mate, I need this to be milked." Mm. So he gets him on, and he's like, "I'm not doing another one. That's it. Nah, I've had enough." And just really,
but really, he wants to.
Oh, it gets better because he's like, "Yeah, I'm never doing another one. See all these fuckers that come in. Everybody's saying that they've seen the podcast. I can't be bothered with this. Nah." It's just been hassle. And then the next minute he phones up after it was after lunchtime. He's like, "Is the comments turned off on the Instagram?" I'm like, "No, how?" He's like, "I can't access the comments." I was like, "I thought you hated the podcast." Like, he's like, "I need to go and get my fix." He's just looking for targets.
Yeah, it's so funny. That is funny.
He's he must have been on happy pills when you went to see him.
Yeah, he was all right. But I proper liked the vibe of his shop. Mm-hmm. It was ace. Mm. It's proper old school.
Oh, it's gritty.
Yeah, it's like right up my street, that.
Yeah. How did you get involved in bodybuilding and your brand?
Well, it's just like fucking something that I've always like I've always loved the gym. I've always loved training. And I got into it when I was like fucking like 12, like lifting weights and all that sort of stuff through playing rugby. And like my dad had like quite a lot of mates that were bodybuilders and things like that. So I was always like around those type of people. And fucking what's it called? Join the army, all that sort of stuff. It's quite a long story. I feel like maybe save it
we've got time.
Yeah, we could save it for the poddy if you want.
Yeah, we'll get started. Let's go.
I'll tell you a bit more before we start, but yeah. Joined the army. Well, I spent fucking like. I've always been like quite like fucking that fat kid. Do you know what I mean? At school and all that sort of shit. Mm. And everybody was like saying to me like, oh, you're not going to do anything with your life. You're going to be a bum. You're going to fucking not achieve anything. You don't take things seriously. You don't apply yourself to anything. Bloody, bloody, blah. All the same fucking shit that probably has happened to fucking everybody once in their life. Do you know what I mean? And then,
Were you fat?
hey,
Were you fat?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like 110 kilo at like fucking 14.
What?
Yeah.
What were you fucking doing?
Fucking eating rice pudding and fucking soaring, thinking it was going to get me big.
Yeah. What, you thought, I'm just going to eat rice pudding and get big?
Yeah.
And you just blown out like a water balloon?
Yeah, I was just fat.
Jeez, were you lifting weights?
Yeah.
It wasn't doing anything. You weren't getting bigger. You were just getting fatter.
Yeah. I got the fat gene.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I was like fucking on YouTube watching like fucking back then when I was like on the YouTube and all that sort of stuff. Do you know Elliot Hulse?
No.
Strength Camp? I used to watch his videos. American bloke. He's like proper old school. Gone a bit weird though.
Is he?
Yeah. As of like a few years ago. But
kinky or?
just like got into the whole like DMT scene and spirituality and that side of things.
So he swung way out.
Yeah, yeah. He's gone from like one end of the spectrum to the other, which isn't like a bad thing. It's just I'm not ready for that sort of stuff yet. Do you know what I mean?
You aren't?
Nah.
Or then?
Well, I'd say then I wasn't. I was invested in him for like the masculinity side of things and like fucking proper hard training, fucking like good principles and all that sort of stuff. Not that spirituality and all that shit doesn't give you good principles. I guess it's like he's getting on, and he was getting older and all that sort of stuff, so he couldn't really continue the way he was training and things like that, and he had to change things up because when I was watching him, he was in his 20s and that, like late 20s. But yeah, I was watching him, watching his videos. That's what sort of got me into it, and then I was like watching the bodybuilding stuff, like Generation Iron, things like that. Fucking,
I've seen it. I know Generation Iron is.
yeah, it's good. It is good. And like,
I'm trying to think of the ones that I would have been watching then. Generation Iron, RX Muscle.
Lee Priest versus bodybuilding.
They were really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
They're good. I was watching all that sort
Like
of
Greg
stuff.
Valentino stories.
Yeah.
Like, love him or hate him, he's fucking amusing.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Yeah, and then everybody was like sort of saying that I wasn't going to do anything with my life. I didn't really like do well at school, done really shit at school. But like through school, I was always like fucking working and all that sort of shit. Like all my mates were dead focused on like fucking their GCSEs and all that sort of shit. Mm-hmm. And to me, I was like, your fucking opportunities are endless. I was like, you're never going to get this time back in your life now being this age. So we may as well fucking make the most of it. Because like you're never going to be this free ever again.
And what were you doing? Like, what was it? How was that manifesting itself? What was the best use of Oliver's time at this age? What's he doing?
Fucking around, going out on my mountain bike, fucking
rice pudding out your fucking chops.
Yeah, fucking just being fucking young, jumping off the rocks into the fucking sea.
Yeah,
going out.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, going out like just being a fucking boy. Do you know what I mean? Going out making fires, fucking. Going camping with chicks and just fucking, just living.
So where's the issue?
Well, all my mates were fucking like, just a bit.
Was it just that you weren't picking up the ball at school? So you were doing all that, but you weren't doing the school bit?
Yeah. And all my mates would be like, no, I'm not coming out. I need to revise for my fucking exams and all this sort of shit. And like.
So you were the one that was leading them astray because you thought.
Yeah. And that's what all their parents fucking used to say to me. They're like, you're never going to do anything and all this sort of shit and this, that and the other. And then what's it called? I mean, when I was 16, we went to this fucking Boardmasters festival and like was fucking like...
Boardmasters, what's that? Is that like snowboarding?
No, Boardmasters is like big surfing music festival in Cornwall. I went there.
That must be something else. That must be quite lively.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good event. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, went there when I was fucking 16 and we were just coming up to leaving school and that and then going off to fucking further education and they were all off to do like their fucking A-levels and then go off to uni and all that fucking shit. And I didn't know what to do. So I just picked the first thing that I saw because that was when you had to stay in education for an additional 2 years. Like you couldn't just go straight out and get an employed like a job or whatever. You had to stay in education until you were 18. And then I was getting fucking hammered all that week by them all, like saying, oh, you're thick as fuck, you're not going to do anything, bloody, 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 blah. And then I got to the point where I was like, nah, fuck you all. I was like, I'm going to join the Royal Marines. Fucking finished up that festival, went home, applied for the Royal Marines and started training for that.
So what age are you now?
27.
You're 27. How long ago? So this would have been, what, 10 years ago?
Yeah, 10 years ago.
So you wanted to go to the Royal Marines?
Yeah.
Was it just that snap of decision? Had you any thought of going to the military before?
I did actually. Before that, I had a thought of doing it when I was like 13. And like I remember we was at rugby training, and then for some reason our coach was like going around at rugby training and being like, what does everybody want to do in the future? And I said I fucking wanted to join the Royal Marines, and fucking everyone laughed at me.
But is it because they've seen you as having no discipline?
I was always at the back in all the fitness, everything at rugby training, all that sort of stuff. I was always.
Was it because you were fat, or were you not applying yourself?
No, I was just fat. I was just fat. Yeah.
Yeah. So were you fat before you started lifting, or did you get fat because you were lifting and tried to get big?
I was fat before I started lifting.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I was fat before I started lifting.
Yeah. Who's the feeder in your house?
Well, this is the thing.
Somebody's a fucking feeder here.
No, I was left to my own devices quite a lot because my old man was a fireman.
Yep.
So he'd work evenings and then fucking be on days like 2 on 2 off and all that sort of shit. And then my mum had her own business. She had a restaurant that she fucking chefed in and all that sort of stuff. So she was like, so down in Brixham, it's a like fishing village. So it's like, I think it's like second biggest fishing port in the UK or whatever.
Yep.
And she used to get up. She was the only restaurant that would be selling like actual fresh fish from the fish market. She'd be up at like fucking 5 a.m, down the fish market, buying her fish every morning, taking it back to the restaurant, gutting it, fucking descaling it, all that sort of shit. Throughout the whole day, doing all her fucking food prep and all that sort of shit. Then like open at fucking 6 o'clock at night, and then she wouldn't be home until like fucking 11, 12. So she done that for like fucking 20 years.
What was that like with having sort of, being left to your own devices? Did you remember what it was like back then when you were did you feel a bit lost?
Not really.
No?
I don't think so.
It either goes one way or the other. You either feel a bit lost and left out, or you start to, it's like Ferris Bueller's Day Out. You just start to go, yes.
Yeah, I don't really know. It's not something that I've never really thought about too much, to be honest. But like,
what age would you have been?
That was from like 6 or 7 until now.
Yeah, and you never just thought, all right, that was it.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but that's usually what they say after. It's not usually what they think at the time.
Yeah, it is what it is. But then, like, I think about...
Or was there a 7-year-old Ollie that was just like, that is what it is?
Yeah, no, it just is what it is. But then I think about my gran, and, like, my nan, she was a grafter as well. She had, like, ferry boats, she had her own businesses and stuff like that. And my mum had the same thing happen to her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's almost like runs in the family kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I think maybe that's like...
That was all she knew, so she didn't know any. She thought this is the way it is.
Yeah, that is the way it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But the thing is...
Have you got any, like, mummy or daddy issues like Ricardo has, or are you sort of pretty sound?
I'm pretty sound, yeah.
My mum... fine.
Yeah, my mum and dad are still together.
Yeah.
Like, there's some bits that I don't really want to fucking, obviously, talk too much about on fucking...
just edit it out. So you can either let rip, or you can just navigate it.
Yeah. I'll just fucking tell you some stuff, just because obviously you're quite interested in all that sort of shit. But like, I remember when I was younger, I wasn't really into drinking. Mm-hmm. I only got into drinking like a bit later on, probably about when I was like, well, obviously playing rugby and stuff when I was younger. Bit of the social aspect was drinking, and that's also what made me have the fucking flip. I was like, nah, I don't want this. And then like,
what happened? Like, what caused that? What age would you have been when you were drinking?
Probably 14 to 16.
Yeah. So you're socialising with the boys.
Yeah.
You're getting together, having a few drinks.
Yeah, playing rugby on a Sunday it would have been, and then like we'd go back to my fucking mate's house or whatever, and we'd have like bottles of Frosty Jacks and all that shit. And
Oh, the good stuff.
Yeah, just be twats, really. But yeah, done all that sort of shit. Yeah, my old man obviously has done a lot of stuff with the fire service and all that sort of stuff. Seen some stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic dad, and I wouldn't be the man that I am today without him. But like, obviously, his dad was a proper cunt to him, so he's obviously got a lot of underlying issues that he's never addressed and things like that. And
good man.
yeah,
Good on him.
yeah. And
We don't need safe spaces for guys like your dad. They just fucking get on with it.
Yeah,
They bottle that shit up.
Yeah, they do, and just fucking
just crack on.
Yeah, go for it.
Good man. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
Good old fashioned guy.
Yeah, he is.
Good man.
And fucking what's it called? His dad was a fucking cunt. He doesn't speak to him or whatever, which I feel a bit sorry for him, but it is what it is. But yeah, he used to fucking come home and like smash the beers and all that sort of shit. And then,
Nice. You think he's escaping the feelings? So he's
yeah. It's like it's a bit of
that's normal. Like, that's completely normal. Like if you've got something and you feel like you want to numb it or get away from it, or
it's
just
an escape.
Have a break from it.
Yeah, it's an escape from reality. And then obviously my mum, she'd be working, so she wouldn't know what's going on at home, and I'd just be getting fucking beans all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
So
you'd have seen your dad doing it. You've seen your dad drinking. You're going out with the boys, and they're drinking, and then but somewhere along the line,
it was just like it was bizarre. It's just like a penny dropped. Like when I went away to that festival, and I was like drinking fucking loads, and I was like, nah, I fucking don't want this. I was like, I need to fucking do something. I need to fucking get my life in order. And I was always into my training and all, like my bodybuilding and all that sort of stuff. And then I was just sort of thinking, like, I ain't going to be able to achieve the direction I want my life to go in, staying around this town and being around these people and doing these things. I was like, I need to go and be independent and do my own thing and fucking sort my life out.
What did you have in mind that you wanted to do?
I had a list of stuff that I wanted to achieve before I was like fucking 21. I wanted to fucking run a 9.5 minute mile and a half. Wanted to bench 100 kilo. Wanted to get a house. What else was on there? I can't fucking remember what else was on there.
You wanted to run a 1.5 miles in 9.5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's a fucking weird one.
Because I was joining the military. It's one of
one of their things?
Yeah, one of the fitness tests. Yeah, because like the time to get in, like the entry time's like 12 minutes 30. Like that's the
minimum. That's the cut off.
Yeah, that's like the standard.
Yeah,
and I just wanted to do it in that time. Like,
so you wanted to come under it, right?
Yeah,
I get you. So what age were you doing working these goals out?
Probably about 16 and a half, 17.
That's really good that you're starting to think about goals then. That's like really promising, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember, like, I was like, oh, do you know Tony Robbins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was reading.
Course.
Yeah, I was like reading.
What did you read?
Awaken the Giant Within.
That's a good book.
Yeah, it's fucking good, isn't it? And I was like reading like Awaken the Giant Within, that book called Fuck Yourself.
What one's that?
It's got like a yellow.
Tony Robbins?
Nah.
Is it the Mark?
I don't know the author, but all I know it's fucking orange.
I know the one is. It's called Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
I've read that one.
Is that the one you mean, or is it a different one?
They're two different ones.
Right.
Yeah, I've read that one.
I don't know the other one, How to Unfuck Yourself.
Yeah, that one's...
I've obviously never got that bad to reach for that book.
Yeah.
I've obviously never got to that level of despair.
And I was reading that, and then I was reading another one called Mindset with Muscle by Jamie Alderson. Do you know Jamie Alderson?
No.
He used to be one of the grenade athletes for a fucking good few years. I read his one. I read his mate's one. I can't remember the name of it. I read quite a few books.
So when did you fucking pick up the ability to read? Because your pals at school didn't think you were going to be able to amount to shit.
Well, they fucking just didn't have a fucking clue. The thing is like, I'm very much all or nothing. And if I don't see any point in it, or purpose or meaning or whatever. Or I think
That's really good that you noticed that, because see, that's the thing, is see, when you're wanting somebody to get involved in engagement, you can't engage them unless they know why they need to be engaged.
Yeah. Like,
it's like, you know, in the military, it's commander's intent.
Yeah.
How is the guys going to make decisions if you don't know what the intent of the commander is?
Yeah, like I was really shit in the military.
How so?
Yeah, I just didn't do well. That's like fucking... I just got in trouble all the time. I ended up getting kicked out of my unit and sent to a naughty boy one. Because they're fucking just full of shit, all of them. They're fucking... It's just fucking bollocks.
Like what? Fucking give me an example.
Like fucking Afghanistan and all that sort of shit. How they're saying that like, don't get me wrong, terrorism, all that sort. I just don't believe them. I just don't fucking believe
who?
Like, just pretty much everybody. But like fucking, they're saying like, painting out like they're fucking Taliban's, this, that, and the other, bloody, bloody, blah. They're fucking scumbags. This, all this shit. Obviously, this is like fucking back in like what, 2008 to 2012 or whatever. Painting out like these people are the fucking enemy, brainwashing us all to fucking hate them and all that sort of stuff. And now we're fucking meant to be loving them. Do you know what I mean? And welcome them over and sharing the streets with people and all that sort of shit. Do you know what I mean? But like, really, there was more of a motive to all that shit. It was for fucking gold, oil, resources, all that sort of shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's massive fucking it's a fucking massive business at the end of the day. And they're using regular people as their fucking pawns. It's happened for fucking years, centuries.
Yeah,
decades.
I mean, if you fucking picked up a book on, you know, the Battle of Waterloo, you'd have seen it plain as day. The history is there. It tells you, look, you're just a pawn, and then they can bring you in and believe it's about patriotism and about, you know, providing freedom and all these fucking words. Like the podcast I done yesterday.
Yeah.
With I will teach you about linguistics, and I'm going to watch. I can go into your mind and make you believe something just using some words, because you're going to go, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, freedom. Yeah, and you're like, you end up in this place where you go, right, I'm in another country. We're destabilizing everything that they have constructed, fighting for a reason that I'm not really sure I've been told is the truth.
Yeah.
To get to meet an agenda which is hidden. So we've got a very public persona of what it is.
Yeah.
And we seem to be doing something else that is very far away from the public persona.
Yeah, yeah.
And then somebody, you go, I think somebody's telling me lies.
That's just, yeah, like, I noticed as soon as I started my training and all that sort of stuff, like, they just brainwash you.
How did you know they were brainwashing you? Did you know that because you were reading the books on mindset?
Well, I just don't know. I don't really... That was sort of a bit... The books and all that sort of stuff, there was a few before, but a lot more come later. Like the Tony Robbins one, I remember I was reading it when I was out in Kenya with 7RHA. I was over there fucking... Because obviously I wanted to join the fucking Royal Marines, and that didn't happen because I had asthma as a fucking kid. So I spent like 2 years training for it. Fucking, I went from not being able to run a bath to being able to run fucking 15 mile on a fucking Sunday for the fucking crack. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I just done it. Like, just made it happen.
Yeah.
And then obviously fucking 2 years went by and all that sort of stuff. They kept messing around with me with all my fucking medical records and all that sort of stuff, like my doctor's surgery. And I don't know if it was because my doctor's surgery was one of the Christian ones. They're like proper diehard Bible bashers in there. That's just my speculation as to why they would.
What were they doing?
They kept fucking not sending off the medical records.
Was it when you fight a war?
Yeah, and I was like phoning them up and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know if
that hardcore.
Huh?
Were they that hardcore?
I was only young.
They're doing sermons and all that.
Yeah, fuck knows.
Fucking faith
But
healing.
that was my fucking speculation. But if it's true or not, don't know. It's probably not true. It's probably something I've made up in my own mind. But anyways, that delayed the process for ages. And it turned out that I'd failed the fucking, what's it called? medical for the Royal Marines. I was made permanently medically unfit for the whole of the Navy. Couldn't join the Navy. So when I found that
What, for
out,
fucking asthma?
yeah, as a kid, because they were saying that because with the Royal Marines and stuff, they go over to Norway for their second part of their training to do Arctic warfare, and they reckon that my lungs wouldn't have been able to handle the cold temperatures and being able to exert myself in those conditions and all that sort of shit. So yeah, that was
They should have just fucking put you up in Scotland for about 6 minutes. He'd have been fine.
yeah.
They would have found out that he's either coming back or he's not coming back. That's it.
Yeah. And so I fucking, what's it called? Day that I fucking found out that I failed for that, I went onto the British Army website, just typed in commando, and I saw commando gunners, which was a part of the Royal Artillery, and I just applied for that, and then just went for that, and then 6 months later I started training.
Yep.
Yeah. So
what age would you have been at that point? So 2 years. So I'm guessing what, 19?
yeah,
20?
it's 19. Yeah.
Yep. So just keeping me right here. You're a fat kid. You left to your own devices. Like dad's out grafting. You know,
Mum's out grafting.
Mum's out grafting as well.
Yeah.
She's you know, she's getting after it. Dad's doing his best. He's a good man.
Yeah.
Got some fucking issues there that he's burying. Good lad. You know, that'll surface at some point, but it will not be today.
Yeah.
And he's you're like a feral child. You're like, come on, we'll fucking just go and be boys.
Yeah.
And then
it's just a bit fucking rogue.
Just a bit of rogue.
Yeah.
A bit of rascal.
Yeah. And my dad, so obviously, my dad, growing up, was very strict.
With you?
Yeah. Like, really, really fucking strict. Like, no mess, fucking very... Like, he's from, like, council estate background. Never had fuck all. Like, at Christmas, his dad would get him a fucking bag of oranges and a football. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was just a proper cunt to him. And, like...
Was your dad an only child?
No, he's got a brother, older brother.
Right.
And fucking, what's it called? Everything he's got, he's had to work really hard for. He's not been given fuck all. He's always grafted. Like, he's just from a very hard working family. I think that's sort of like...
So he's worked hard to get everything he's got, so there's a massive value attached to the work.
Massively. Like,
and he doesn't want anybody deteriorating for that value by being slack.
Yeah.
And you fucking arrive.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, fucking, if you get out of the car, you close the door with the fucking door handle. If you fucking put your hands on the side, you got hell to pay.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So you couldn't put the fingerprints on the paint?
Yeah. Yeah. Or don't put your fucking fingers on the glass if you fucking point to something that you drive past.
Yeah. Is that a big no-no?
That's a big no-no.
There's a fucking Windowline wipes in the car.
Or if you're in the ice cream shop and you want an ice cream, don't fucking put your finger on the glass to pick one which one you want.
It's even not in his stuff, it's just everywhere.
Everywhere. And like how you like if I was stood there like leaning, like slouching or whatever, he'd fucking be like, put your fucking shoulders straight. Like, yeah.
You got brothers and sisters? Or just you?
I got an older sister. She's 33.
Right.
Yeah.
Was he disciplined with her?
It's hard to say because my sister left home when she was like 16. She went to university at Hartbury College in Gloucester to study some equine shit.
But the horses?
Yeah, horses and that. So I would have been 8. She's 8 years older than me. So what age is that? She's actually...
You're 27, she'll be 36.
Yeah.
No, she'll be 35.
Yeah, 35 years, yeah.
35. Yeah.
Yeah,
so you were just left to fucking run rogue?
Yeah.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
You look fucking happy about it, if you don't mind me. I'm looking at your face. I've got I detect no signs of sadness here.
Nah. No, it's fucking ace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Like, I get it. I get the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's like, people think it's nuts that I just drive up here.
Why?
Fuck knows, because they're just...
Who thinks it's nuts?
Like, people from back home.
What the fuck's happened down there? Like, what? How?
There's nothing going on.
No wonder. They're doing nothing.
Yeah. There's nothing. There's no one going fucking rogue driving up to Scotland.
What the fuck? What's happening down this neck of the woods? What do they just catch a fish, eat it, and then that's it? They have a fucking party every now and again.
Yeah, well,
Are they happy?
Fuck knows.
Do they look happy? I don't think you think they're happy.
I think there's like in our town there's a big like drinking culture and like big like cocaine culture and all that sort of stuff. And I think it's just because people are miserable in their own lives, like Monday to Friday, and they just want that escape from reality.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not hard to see.
Yeah. Nah, it's not good, is it?
Nah.
It's fucking prevalent now.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It is.
They're absolutely everywhere.
But they just want like an escape for reality.
Yeah.
And then fucking, I don't know. I feel like people don't realise how much work you got to put into actually gain anything. They just want everything like.
Well, it's culture now. They expect everything handed to them.
Yeah, it's fucking.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's mental.
It's like they have. I don't know what you call it. It's like they expect the world owes them something.
Mm.
It's like no, you got to get out there and earn it. You don't like nothing gets handed to you.
That's
you want it, you need to go and do something about it.
I think I was like 15 when
entitlement.
Entitlement. My old man told me that when I was like fucking 15.
What? Entitlement?
No, nobody's gonna hand you anything.
No chance.
You got to fucking go out and work for everything.
Well, look at his life.
Yeah,
he's a prime example.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I'm really fascinated. You started reading the books. Do you remember the first book you picked up?
Yeah, Mindset with Muscle by Jamie Alderton.
What made you go for that one? Like, what? How did it come about that you ended up with that book?
So I used to work in a warehouse called Quirkity, and they used to sell. It was a bit like an Amazon. They sold like fucking loads of different fucking weird shit, like pens to fucking I don't know, garden furniture and all that sort of shit. And they had like pickers. So the pickers would fucking wheel these trolleys around and put the shit in, and then they'd have packing stations, and then in the middle of the packing stations was a belt where you used to load the parcels into the racking for the fucking raw mail to collect. And I was stood there for 12 hours a day fucking just picking these parcels off the fucking belt and stacking them into the things. And I just had my AirPods in, and I was listening to the podcast that he used to do called Mindset with Muscle. I was fucking listening to them.
Right, so that's a fucking great story, but I think that you're not telling me the full facts here.
What do you mean?
You could have listened to anything. Fucking anything. You'd have had AC/DC, fucking, a podcast, you'd have had trance tunes, you'd have had the fucking music set from the Board Festival. Right, but you picked that. Why were you picking that?
Because
what were you looking for? Why listen to that? You know what I mean?
I know why.
You know what I mean?
I know the answer as well.
Well, fucking get it out. Get it told.
I just feel like I've got something inside of me that I'm chasing.
Right. What is it?
I haven't found it yet.
But it's inside you. What the fuck is? What is it that's in there?
Fuck knows.
What would you call it? How would you describe it? Fuck. Start with this. Where do you feel it in your body?
I'm probably like I don't fucking.
It's
like,
there.
Everywhere.
Is it everywhere? But where does it feel strongest?
I don't know.
Well, think about it. Think about you listening to that podcast and thinking about he says something and you go, yes, yes.
Yeah, like in my heart, in my chest.
Yeah, exactly. And it spreads from there.
Yeah.
So what's in there? What's it telling you to do? What's the thing that make it's like a burning ember. You got a fire and it's glowing.
Yeah.
And it's woo, 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 and it's in there. Just like an ember would give off heat. What's this telling you? What have you to do?
Become the strongest version of yourself.
Yeah, it's good. So you've got more. It's telling you you've got more.
Yeah.
This isn't you. You've got more to do.
Yeah, there's loads more.
Yes, there we go. And what did you think? So the next stage of this is you go, right, what am I supposed to do? Big question. Normally it's a daunting question. You go, I better start figuring it out. And that's when you start to look for where would I get the answers. Now you have got a pair of AirPods, listen to a book, and a podcast because you're looking for the answers.
Yeah.
You're looking for it, which is good. It's really good. It's a good sign.
You like that, don't you?
I fucking do. Because I get people that come to me all the time and they're maybe like...
I feel like something that I've always been is very self-aware of myself. And a lot of people aren't self-aware of themselves, I find.
Yeah.
But
this is the thing is like what you're displaying here is really, really powerful positive signs because loads of people will come up to you and they're like a non-player character. They'll come up and they'll be like, Gio, I really want success. Okay. What's success to you? Because success means lots of things to different people. What you might find success might be different to mine. Maybe we're aligned. Maybe we're like, yeah, I'd like, me and you are on the same page, man. Yeah. Yes. There's other people who's like, success to me is I can go to Benidorm for 2 weeks and clear 500 quid a week. And that is like that's maybe his world. You know, and I'm like, I couldn't think of anything worse. But because we have different ideas of what success is. Maybe success is somebody taking care of a sick relative. You know, they've served a purpose greater than themselves, and fair play, no problem. But the thing being is, when people come and approach you, they'll be like, I want this and I want that and I want that. It's like, where's it coming from? Is it coming from that burning ember desire that you have more to give? Or is it coming because you've seen somebody on Instagram go, I'd like that life? Yeah. And you want to do nothing about it. You've got no drive, no determination, no motivation, no burning ember. You can't feel it. It's not even there. Yeah. And you've just seen someone went, yeah, I like that. Yeah. You go, what are you doing, man? And it's like, you need to ignite the fire inside you. Yeah, it's in there. Like all the stuff's in there. You've got way more potential in you than you're using. Yeah. And you need to ignite it. Yeah. And this is what I'm saying is like, no, wait now. You're in this fucking warehouse like a robot, like a non-player character, and you're going, nah. And you seek out something. That's what's powerful because you're looking for the answer. Yeah. Right? Because everyone around you is like, it's just fine. This is life. This is us. Like, this is the environment. The environment is you're in a place. This is what's considered the norm. Yeah. You feel like there's something off. You're like, I need to get out of here. This environment that you think's okay is not my environment. I am not sure this is what you're supposed to do. Yeah. I think I'm supposed to do more. Then you go to another environment, which is a warehouse, and you're like, it's a means to an end, and I know that I need to earn money now, and I'm prepared to do it. But I know that I need to do something more than this. Yeah. And it's like the burning ember. Yeah. You see what I mean? Yeah. And not only that, you're taking the steps, reading the books, listening to the podcast. You're looking for the answers. Yeah. And that is fucking powerful. Right. Somebody way more talented with way more potential, way more ability than you with no burning ember versus you with that burning ember, you'll outstrip them every time and twice on Sunday because they don't have the drive, don't have the kick. As soon as the obstacle comes up, there's no fight, there's no fire in them. Yeah. And they just go, and it goes back to the whole victimhood mentality. Why can I not get it? Why am I not getting what I'm entitled to? Why am I not getting handed everything? Where you're like, I'm game, I'm down. Yeah. Like, I know that this is going to be shit. You know, I'm going to take it. Yeah. Like, I'm going to do what it takes to get there. Yeah. Like, I know it's not all going to go my way. Yeah. But I'm going to roll with the punches. Yeah. And that's the ember that's in there. You see? Yeah. So it's a good sign. A really good sign. Yes. Yeah. I don't know if you ever noticed that about yourself.
Don't know.
No, never thought about it. That never connected those dots.
Yeah, well, I kind of have, but I just don't know. Just do me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's cool because listening to I'm putting myself in your shoes and I'm thinking, what would it be like if I was Ollie based on what he's describing? Because I've never been to this place. But I'm detecting it. I'm getting a feel, like a texture of the place. And I'm like, fucking know what he's describing here. Just cool. That's really good. Yeah. And then obviously I was doing that packing stuff whilst like fucking...
So I take it the packing's just like you're looking to earn, money.
Yeah, I was just earning money, like.
So you out the military at this point?
No. This is like 17. This is before the military.
So you're even before the military, you're reading the books?
Yeah. Like I was reading that. You asked me what got me into reading the books.
It was the Mindset
with Muscle podcast, and then like halfway through his series, he was like, "Oh, I'm writing a book." Bloody blah. Couple more went through, and he's like, "Oh, I'm bringing the book out on this date." I bought the book, read the book, listened to the podcasts, training, all that sort of stuff, working. Like when I was at when I was at school, I had 3 different jobs. I was working at a Turkish car wash. I was working for my mum doing like fucking washing up and all that sort of shit, KPing. In the evenings, I was fucking working down there. And then
what's KPing? What's that?
Just pot washing.
Right.
Just pan bashing.
Is that the nickname for it, KPing?
Yeah.
Right, nice. I didn't know that one.
Kitchen porter.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
Right, with you.
KPing.
KPing.
Down with the kids now.
Ah, nice. Fucking, I'm getting the lingo. I'm getting dialed in.
Yeah, fucking, yeah, doing the KP and all that sort of stuff. And
I done that when I was fucking 12 or 14 or something.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
like
an Italian fucking restaurant.
everybody's starting job,
Yeah,
isn't
a
it?
free pizza and a tenner, and you thought you were massive in the game. It was like, man,
Yeah.
I'm going to make it, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I was working for my brother-in-law doing, like, he used to do boat maintenance for a ferry company through the winter.
Mhm.
So, like, all the ferries would need refurbing and all that sort of shit. So, fucking, I was like his fucking labourer. And he was another massive male figure in my life, was my brother-in-law. Like, he's like my fucking best mate.
Yeah.
He's one of my best mates. Like,
That's good. It's
Yeah.
good that you've got them in your life.
yeah, he's like proper old school, just hardcore bloke. Yeah, just no excuses, just fucking get it done. If there's a problem, figure it out. And to be around that at a like very young age was
Magic.
it was really good for me.
Yeah.
And
What did it give you?
just a lot of like fucking, I'd say character and life skills.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Because like,
Do you think it's because you had a bit more respect for him than the teachers and things like that?
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're going, if he says, "Hey, like do this," you know, it's from a place of he's looking out for you.
y-
So you're more likely to do
yeah,
it.
like I feel like with me is like I'll only listen to you and take advice from you if like I don't know how to word it.
Lay it out.
Like basically in the fucking thing, if you're not a shit bloke, do you know what I mean?
You're not going to listen to somebody if they're talking shit.
No, not like that. Like they've got to be like a respectable male figure.
What makes him a respectable male figure in your book? What makes a cut?
I would say somebody that's true to themselves and like that just don't speak doesn't speak hot air,
Mm.
says it how it is, and somebody that's true to their word. If they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. They say they're going to be there at whatever time, they're going to be there at that time. Do you know what I mean? If they're going to be 15 minutes late, they tell you the real reason why they're late. Don't make up some excuse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like somebody that's just an integrable man.
Yeah. And was he that? Was he that?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
And did it bring that out in you?
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
And that's now falling in line with like your dad's a more extreme version of that,
Mm.
but maybe a bit too tasty
Well,
for
like-
you at that age.
Yeah, yeah.
But now you're seeing this guy and he's sort of like, hey, look, this is why we're doing it. Now you're going,
Yeah. And now I'm the age that I am.
yeah.
It all makes sense to why my dad
Yeah,
was the way he
yeah.
was.
And you, because at that age you're probably thinking he's doing it to be mean.
Yeah.
Where now you're going, it came from a place of love because he wanted the best for you.
Yeah, you wanted nothing
Yeah.
but the best.
And I wanted nothing but the best, but at the time,
At the time, I hated him.
and that you needed the contrast between your brother-in-law, who's like, yeah, this is why we do it.
Yeah.
But he's a much milder version than your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it used to be funny because like I'd fuck something up at work or whatever, and he'd just fill me in. My brother-in-law would. Yeah.
We just come down, fucking give you a scalp.
Yeah, just like beat me up. It used to be funny. The thing is, I used to enjoy it, so I'd like fuck stuff up on purpose so we could have a little wrestle.
We could have a fucking, a
Yeah.
little round two.
Yeah.
That's good, man. That's cool. So
Yeah.
what would you do? What's boat maintenance? What would you do during the winter?
So he was a carpenter, he was joiner or whatever, chippy. So he'd be doing like the fucking all the refurbishments on it because they were all wooden ferries. So
Right.
he'd be like doing things. I'd just be his bitch basically,
Aye.
making teas, coffees, doing
Yeah.
all the shit jobs, painting,
Yeah.
sweeping up.
Fucking, you need somebody doing it. Like it's not,
Yeah,
like it helps.
yeah, that's
Like,
it.
for real. Like it's,
Yeah.
you might, a lot of people might look down on it, but
Yeah,
it's
but
like, it's
Yeah,
like good.
Well, I enjoyed it at the time. It was good.
Give you a bit of It's better than having nothing to do.
Yeah, that's it.
Getting something done.
Yeah.
Plus, it's like, you're on you're seeing different things. You're seeing the way guys do things.
Yeah.
You're getting a bit of structure to your day. You're maybe getting a few quid, and you're maybe getting filled in. You enjoy it.
Yeah, it was good.
Sort of,
Yeah, it was good. And then from there, I went and worked in my mate's fish and chip shop, KPing again.
Yeah.
Worked in there, and then went and worked at that packing place, and then I managed to save up enough money as well to fucking take some time off of work, and then just purely focus on the training for joining the army.
How long did you take off?
Probably about 5 months or so. Because I was still living at home. My mum and dad were sound, so they didn't charge me any rent and all that sort of stuff. They were very supportive. But yeah, saved up some money. I would go to I used to go to do a PT session with a bloke called John Ellery once a week, who helped me a lot. He's very clever. He's not really into bodybuilding or anything like that, but he's more into like proper fitness, like actual like being functionally fit, moving properly, running properly.
Yep.
He's a very intelligent guy, and yeah, he instilled quite a lot of like work ethic in me, because he was like, he used to say like, you're not the most talented, you're not the most fucking gifted. He's like, you're not the most genetically fucking blessed person. Because what you do have is work ethic. Because that's one thing you do have. So that was quite nice to hear at a younger age. It made me feel a bit.
Are you still 17 at this point?
Yeah. Still. Well, no, would have been 18. Would have been 18 at this point, and that was like the running up to going into the army. Yeah.
So you go into the military, you're getting fed all this brainwashing, which is quite cool that you're aware to that.
Yeah.
People generally don't know they're being brainwashed.
Because this is a funny thing. I remember in training we'd fuck something up. I can't remember what we fucked up, but anyway, the cookhouse. So you got all like the rows of fucking blocks. So these are all the accommodations, and the cookhouse was there. And yeah, cookhouse was there. All the accommodations there, and you have like a DS directing staff. So he's like your instructor, taking you through training and all that sort of stuff. You've got about 6 of them or whatever. And they have like a...
Is that the American word for is the American word cadre, and we call them DS?
Fuck knows.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Like the cadre, they're overseeing, like this, they're supervising everything.
Yeah. They like take you through all the training syllabus and...
Yes. Yeah,
but
they're basically...
You look at them like they're fucking God.
Yeah.
Because you're fucking young, naive, you don't know anything. You like looking at these people like they're fucking God. If they say jump, you jump. Yeah. All that sort of shit.
So what happened to the cookhouse?
So we'd fucked up, and he got us all on parade and all that sort of shit. And he goes, you're all... we were... Because it was his... So with the cookhouse, you got like an hour slot to get your fucking scran in the morning. And of course, there's like... a different, like loads of different troops for each week, and it's like 12 weeks because you got people coming in at different times. Yeah. There's 12 different troops of say like fucking anywhere between fucking 50 and 70 people. Obviously all needing to use this cookhouse, and like literally you eat your food really quick as fast as you fucking can and get out. And because it was his day, we would be able to go through first. We wouldn't have to wait outside for fucking ages and rush, so we could get back and do our ironing and whatever we need to do for that day. And we'd fucked up. He was like, right, you cunts are all fucking coming in last. And anyways, stood out there for ages, and it's like 5 minutes to fucking, like, till it fucking shuts, and he's still not come out and got us yet. And everybody's like thinking, what's going on? What's saying? And I was fucking... started walking over to the cookhouse, and all the other lads are like, what the fuck are you doing? Where are you going? Why are you doing that? And I was like, well, he's clearly forgot about us. I'm not stood out here like a cunt for no fucking reason. Yeah. Like, nah, don't. He's going to fucking bollock us if you go do that. And I was like, nah, I ain't listening to you. Fucking walked into the cookhouse. I was like, yeah, his name was Corporal. You call him Corporal Lamb. I was like, yeah, Corporal Lamb. I was like, we're still all stood outside here. He's like, what do you want us to do? Like, fucking hell, I forgot about you all. Get in. That was that. Do you know what I mean? But we would have missed it.
Yeah, somebody had to stand up.
Yeah, but nobody wanted to fucking be the one that was the black sheep, so to speak.
And that was it.
Yeah. And then that's sort of a moment where I like knew. But I didn't really. I thought differently to everybody else, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And it turned out you were right.
Yeah.
And they all thought you were wrong. Funny that.
Yeah.
So what happened? What happened to your military career?
Oh. Are we in the podcast?
Fucking right, been in the podcast for 50 minutes.
Oh, bloody hell.
You see how you relaxed, see how your arms weren't crossed, and you sat into it, and you felt good, and you're telling the stories, and everything's coming out.
You eased me in.
Eased you in. Like, see if I was to be like, right, today's podcast.
Yeah, that's
and you'd have been like this.
That's what
Fucking, you'd have been uptight like a fucking ironing board.
Yeah. That's what I was expecting.
We do the intro and the outro at the end, and the reason being is that we don't really know what we're going to talk about yet.
I
So
like
it's like
it.
we do the intro. It's like
You're clever.
We've got Ollie in here, and we're going to do this.
You led me into a false sense of security.
It's fucking smooth, yeah.
Yeah, fucking. So, my basic training was 12.
And look at all the fucking great stories. Look at the juice.
Yeah, so my basic training was like 12 weeks long.
Just make sure you're moving that mic around to follow you.
Yeah, so my basic training was about 12 weeks long. And then I went off to Larkhill in Wiltshire, which was like your phase 2 training, which is like your trade training.
What did you call it? The training?
Trade training, yeah. Because like...
so is it like basic training to see if you're fit enough, and then you go and actually learn what you're going to do?
Yeah, so basic training's to, like, you become a soldier first. So it's like, become... Like, everybody's a soldier first, depending on what you go and do. So, like, you got... Like, it's like anything. It's like being on a building site. You've got plumbers, you've got electricians, you've got fucking carpenters, all sorts of stuff, you know? So, in the army, you got, like, engineers, you got fucking Royal Artillery, you got fucking infanteers, you got fucking... And then in them trades, it's specialist roles. It's like in the infantry, you got, like, mortars, you got snipers, you got fucking... all sorts of stuff going on.
And are they using the basic training to try and establish what you're going to fit into?
Yeah.
Or have you pre-signed up to a particular role?
Yeah, you've already like pre-signed up to what you're going to do. You get like 3 choices, and obviously, I typed in on the day that I failed the Royal Marines medical, just fucking commando, and it come up with Commando Gunners, which is based in Plymouth. They're 2.9 commando, so they like work on artillery guns, like a big 105 howitzer in the fucking middle of the field kind of thing. Because I don't know, it just seemed like a interesting role. It was like it's classed as a combat role, and that just seemed like the reason why I wanted to go down the commando route, because it was sort of like from the area where I'm from, Devon, it was like. It was quite a big thing to go and do. And it was meant to be like one of the hardest things that you can do, going from like civilian to military. And I just saw that as a massive challenge.
Yeah.
Not for like some people walk around like, oh fucking hell, I'm a Marine, bloody blah. But I wanted to do it for myself, like, because I wanted to scratch that itch, so to speak, of seeing what it was all about.
Yeah.
The bodybuilding side of things, and because I still had that itch with the bodybuilding at that time, as I was always massively into my weight training and all that sort of stuff, like through basic training and all that sort of stuff. You have a personal locker, and in my personal locker was like a set of dumbbells, my creatine, my aminos, like everything. Like, we weren't actually meant to have it because they don't like you using that sort of stuff, because I don't know, because you wouldn't have it out there, so they don't want you falling into the mindset of you have to feel like you have to have it to perform. But I thought, well, if I'm putting myself through all this training and doing fitness like 2-3 times a day, doing like fucking ridiculous amounts of steps, all that sort of stuff. Why would I not want to be getting the most out of it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, surely that's a perfect time to be hot on your nutrition, not just shoveling your face full of shit like fucking potato rosties and fucking baked beans.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I always had my weights and all that sort of stuff, and I always knew that I was going to go down a bodybuilding route at some point, but it was just a case of like when. I always knew that was going to be a thing. But yeah, obviously typed in for the commando gunners and all that sort of stuff, and then I'd done my 12 weeks basic training, which is obviously your soldiering and all that sort of stuff, and then I went off and done my trade training, which was in Larkhill, Wiltshire, which was 30 weeks long. That was very different because, like, what I found with the 12 weeks, I remember passing out of my basic training, and I felt like everybody was really happy. Everybody was really pleased. They had all their families there. They were buzzing. They were over the moon. And I stood there and I remember thinking, what the fuck was all that about? I was like, just felt really underwhelmed. And like, because it wasn't what I wanted to do, which was the Royal Marines, I felt like I'd failed myself and let myself down. I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
And the thing is because I trained so hard for that 2-year gap to then go and do the army, I was smashing the Royal Marines fitness tests. So I was like, I got myself to a really good level of fitness going into the basic training. I didn't really find it overly that challenging. Like I used to, like, me and my mate Jack, he's one of my best mates, still mates with him today. We always used to just fuck about on purpose because he was really fit as well. Because we enjoyed getting, like, we found it funny getting beasted and stuff. So we'd fuck around on purpose so we'd get beasted together because we just thought it was a good laugh. So we were always getting in trouble.
What would be an example of getting beasted?
Just be like, so I remember fucking, what's it called? We were on the ranges once, and I remember fucking, so once you do the ranges, you sit there and clean your weapon system and all that sort of stuff. And I remember fucking around and I'd drop so you got like a pull through. So the pull through, like, you pull through this, it's like a little piece of metal on a rope when you got a bit of rag on it, and you basically put that down the chamber of the like weapon system where the fucking round goes. Feed it down and then pull it through. But if you go through like the top end of the barrel where the round comes out of down towards the chamber, it gets fucking stuck. So I thought it'd be funny to put it down his barrel and then fucking just pull it into the fucking barrel a little bit so it gets stuck, and then hand it to him and then fucking let him try get it out. And for some reason the stupid cunt went to pull it that way instead of just thinking, oh, I'm going to just take out the barrel. And he ended up getting it fucking stuck and he didn't know what to do. So he's gone over to, he was, funnily enough, this Scottish guardsman, went over to the Scottish guardsman sergeant, who was a bit of a old school bloke, bit of a beefcake. And he's fucking, he's fucking had a look at it and he's just absolutely fucking went mental. He's like, what have you done, you fucking dumb cunt? Like, absolutely
pasted them.
Yeah, pasting my mate Jack, like giving him fucking loads of shit. And I was like, I sat there thinking, oh no, I can't let him fucking.
You threw him under the bus.
Yeah, I can't let him throw under the bus. So I walked over there. I was like, oh, it was actually my fault, Sergeant. I put it in there. I was the one that got it stuck. And he beasted us both together. So like, the range is fucking. They vary in size, but as you can imagine, if you're firing weapons, it's like 200 metres, 300 metres, 400 metres, like different firing points. So it's like fucking mile long. He'd just be like, oh, go tell me what that fucking range flag says over there. And it'd look about that fucking big when you were stood there. So it's like fucking miles away. So you'd run there, run back. And then my mate Jack would fucking say something fucking daft to him. And then we'd have to go back, and it'd just be shit like that. Do you know what I mean? Just disciplining you with fitness, basically. Yeah. Like, make the punishment so awful that you wouldn't want to do it again.
You'll learn from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just found it funny.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to find it quite funny.
How often would this happen? Would you get caught up in these shenanigans?
It wasn't like every day.
Every day, like once a week.
Maybe like every other day.
He must have been driving them nuts.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know, they really liked us for some reason.
Because they probably thought you were up for a bit of fucking carry on.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get in the military if you're not a bit of a rascal.
Yeah.
You know, so they probably were like, these boys are all right. They're up for a bit of a fucking ruckus.
Yeah. And like doing the military, I saw like the dynamic of it change very quickly, because we still had people in there that were off the back end of going to like Afghanistan and things like that. The training team were like that we had and things like that. And then even the people that once you got to your unit, like they were still very much old school, but like obviously the changing with like government, political agenda, equality, wokeism and all that sort of shit.
My favourite.
That really had a fucking massive impact on the military. And the way that, like, fuck knows what it's like now. I've been out probably about 4 or 5 years. Yeah, 4 or 5 years now.
Is it okay? Is it a question for you? Is it okay to not be okay in the middle of a battlefield in a gunfight? Like, should you be able to put down your weapon and go, it's okay. It's okay to not feel okay. I don't want to hold my gun.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. Have you seen the movie Lone Survivor?
Yeah.
He was a Navy SEAL and he done it.
What?
Marcus Luttrell, didn't he? He said he fucking was coming down the hill and fucking his mates had been killed and all that sort of stuff, and he put his weapon on the floor and had a bit of a breakdown, said that he wanted his mum and all that sort of stuff, but then he picked up and cracked on.
Fucking just needed to let it out.
Yeah.
Just like a big bad fart.
I don't know. I'm in the mindset of like...
No, I'm talking about like the diversity, fucking equality and inclusion shite, and you go, look, we're going to train you to be a fighter.
Yeah.
It's like to me in the middle of a boxing ring, you go, look, I want you to stop.
Yeah.
I don't like this. It's like, well, this is the deal.
I do feel like some of it does have a place, but some of it doesn't have a place.
I do agree with that. I think
because
there's a strata of people that really need that bit where you go, look, it's okay, but the bar has been lowered so far down that anyone's just jumping in on this as a cop out, as an excuse, as a reason not to be strong. It's like glorifying weakness.
Yeah.
Like weakness is cool, weakness is strength. And you go, no, it's fucking not. No.
Weakness
but there's someone that's got to their weakness is fucking gay. It's peak gay. 90s gay. Not this newfangled stuff. Real 90s gay. The hardcore gay. And the like this promotion of fucking like weakness, it's like how are you getting language that bent out of shape? Like where is their strength and weakness? And it's like, no. I've been around strong fucking guys, and I've been around loads of fucking like young lads that are impressionable, and never at any point if anyone went, I'm really inspired by weakness. Not one. Loads of them are inspired by strength. You want to get stronger. Hey man, you want to get fit, you want to get strong, you want to find something, you want to feel good about yourself. I get a bit stronger. I go for it. You know, push them, encourage them, and watch them grow. Yeah, that's good. Never have anybody. You know, I think I'm too strong. You know, I'd like to be a bit weaker.
Yeah,
it's like a safe space.
I had a good quote once by my old security boss, and he said sometimes in order to be strong, you have to admit where you're weak.
Yep. Yes.
And that's like one thing that's like since I heard that, it really stuck with me because he is right in what you're saying. But like with the whole weakness thing,
and it's not that weakness is bad. We want to be really clear on that. Weakness is not bad. And I think
it's having I'd say it's having like what we were going back to earlier, saying about when you were saying about, when I was saying about like looking at taking advice from like a strong male figure or whatever. It's like it's not bullshitting that weakness and buttering it up. It's just having the balls to be like, look, this is where I'm weak.
Yeah,
help me.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
But the way that it is now is, I'm weak and I don't want you to give me any hassle.
Yeah.
I don't want you to help me improve. I want you to recognise that I'm great because I'm weak.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's fucking, that's terrible. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to get you anywhere.
And this is like,
And it's a very slippery slope. You see, and people are fucking sliding down. And you know what they say? They slide them down to hysteria. They're fucking like screaming that feelings are more important than facts. You need to respect my feelings. Like, but you're fucking wrong. Like, you're really, like, there's nobody buying into this delusion apart from you.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. I mean, I'm in a setting where where this all began was in the military. In a military setting, like, that's a really dodgy thing to have, where you need, like, you're in a really stressful state.
Environment.
Yeah, very, very stressful. The last thing you need, what you want, do you want more weakness or less weakness? You know, and if weakness is going to creep out and weakness is going to hit you there, you need to know the best way to handle that.
Yeah.
For a positive intent to get back to being strong. What you don't want is a fucking cesspool of an icy slope for more weakness.
Yeah.
That's not what you need.
Nah.
You need to get back to feeling good again. But it's all fucking bent out of shape now.
Yeah. It's all gone a bit crazy. And then, going back to obviously the original question of how we got onto this tangent. Done my 30 weeks at Larkhill in Wiltshire. And then there I got fucking groomed.
Groomed?
Yeah.
Proper groomed?
Yeah, I got groomed.
Fucking tell us about it. Did you like it, first of all?
No.
Bit?
I felt...
mildly? Or was it a big no? Did you thought, I'm not into this?
Yeah, no, I didn't really know what to make of it, to be honest.
How did it come about? Like, how did it start?
Well, so it started off with my training team all being from this regiment called 7 Power RHA. And obviously I was fucking hell-bent on going to do like the fucking commando course and all that sort of stuff down in Plymouth. And so the two units are a bit like head-on-head. They clash because they're both classed as the elite. Yeah. Because the 2-9 Commando work alongside the Royal Marines and then 7 Power RHA work alongside the Parachute Regiment. So they're the attached arms for those two establishments, we'll call them for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And all my training team was from 7 RHA or other airborne units. And I didn't know anything about the Parachute Regiment or what it entailed or whatever. And I was getting on really well in my phase two. Like, towards the end of training, I got ranked second best in my troop out of fucking, I don't know, like 70 of us or whatever. Number one was my fucking mate Jack that I was on about earlier.
Yeah.
The lad that I was fucking around with.
These were getting beasted together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was top dog. But yeah.
Sounds like he was good.
Yeah.
A good lad.
Yeah, he's a really good lad. Really good lad.
Back up, shout out to Jack.
Shout out to Jack. He's still in now. He's smashing it. Captain of the artillery football team. Fucking that was another reason why I went to Colchester, was because he was going there.
What's Colchester? Is that with the 7 RHA?
Yeah, that's where the Parachute Regiment are based. So I went over there and Jack's smashing it. He's a sergeant, got a nice girlfriend.
Nice.
Set of wings on his shoulder, jumps out of aeroplanes.
Not bad. Good lad.
Bit of G.I. Joe shit.
Yes, fucking good on you.
Yeah,
Big up Jack.
Big up Jack.
So what happened when you went down here? Where did it all begin?
Oh, so yeah, like I was saying, in phase two, I've got fucking groomed. My training team were all fucking 7 RHA, and I used to get on quite well with so you'd have like a troop commander, like a warrant officer or whatever, and he was called Nick Rogers, real sound bloke. He was from 7.
Yep.
And he called me into his office, and there was this other guy called Bombardier Jenkins, and he had like short bloke, about your height, stocky as fuck, big fucking mustache, black hair, and he just looked like the fucking bollocks, like proper squared away bloke. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'd look at him and think, somebody you'd aspire to be to, like
just oozing it. He's like, he fucking looks apart.
Yeah, he's fucking all over it. Ask him a question, he fucking knows everything about it. He was like, just fucking.
What was his name? Bombardier what?
Bombardier Jenkins.
Bombardier Jenkins.
Yeah.
What a fucking cool name.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? And I remember they've called me into their office, and there was like, I can't really remember how the conversation went, but I remember I got given, do you know those little jubbly lollies?
Yeah.
The little fucking square ones. They was like, do you want a fucking jubbly? I was like, go on then. So I've had this fucking jubbly. And I was just thought, this is a bit fucking weird. Why are they being so nice to me? And then...
Do you remember what the fuck they were... How did you come into the office? You see this guy, next minute you've got a lolly.
Yeah.
What the fuck... What happened in between?
I can't really remember. It all happened fast. but anyways, I've gone into their fucking office, eating this fucking jubbly. They're chatting all this sort of stuff. They've slid this paperwork over the table. I've looked down on it, and it's called a triple P form. So you fill out a triple P form of what unit you want to go to. And there's like, look, we really think you should go to fucking 7 Power RHA. They said that you've got the mentality for it, you're cut out for it. There was like, you'll be wasted down at fucking 2-9 Commando, like real, like, at the time I was young, naive.
Bigging you up.
Yeah.
Massive, man. They're feeding your ego big.
Yeah, like proper rubbing my ego. Like,
did you like it?
Yeah, it was quite nice, because I've not really had that before.
Feel good?
Yeah, I've always just been told that I was fucking useless.
You're fucking still sticking on this lolly. Like, tell me more.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm filling out this triple P paperwork, and they're saying that I'm going to be more suited for it and all this sort of stuff. I didn't even know what the fuck I was getting into or what the fucking what it entailed. Do you know what I mean? So, because what I didn't know with this fucking commando unit and 7 RHA is, with going to the commando unit, you don't get put in the unit until you've passed the all arms commando course. So you get held in a training camp where you just train to pass that event, and then you're welcomed into their group.
Yep.
Whereas with this place, you're straight in the group.
Yep.
And then you get put on their all arms parachute like P company course when obviously they see fit and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't obviously know all this stuff at the time. It's stuff that I learned as time went on. And anyways, fucking ended up going to 7 RHA in fucking Colchester or whatever, which was like on the other side of England as to where I'm from, whereas Plymouth was an hour away from my house kind of thing. So I've gone to Colchester, and that's where it all went wrong, really. So where the dream died.
What happened?
So I was there for a couple of months.
Are they teeing you up? Like, are they in on this?
Who?
The Bombardier fucking
Jenkins
and
what?
Are they in on the grooming?
Oh no, me. I was just saying that I got groomed, like as in I got fucking brainwashed to go somewhere.
Like, are they in on, like, they are, like, to what end is it to like why do they think that's cool?
What,
like,
to change?
Why are they pushing you there as opposed to the 2-9?
Ah, okay. So obviously this is what I become aware of later. So I've turned up to the unit, and they had no stat. Like, nobody wanted to go there. They were on demand. Like, they didn't have enough manpower in the lower ranks. So, like, basically, shit rolls downhill. They didn't have enough shit at the bottom to do all the shit jobs. Do you know what I mean? So they were, like, really short-staffed. They weren't, like... So, in a battery's made up of 6 guns, and each gun needs a team of 6.
Yep.
And they were short-staffed to, like, run the guns and things like that at that time. Don't know what it's like now. Could be sorted out. Could be not, you know. But obviously they were short-staffed. So that obviously was the real reason as to why they were trying to get so many people to go there, because they wanted the manpower. They needed the manpower.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And they fucking done you up with a kipper with some compliments and a lollipop.
Yeah, which obviously changed the course of my
military career.
The
dream was gone.
Yeah.
Then what'd you do then?
What, when I went to Colchester, I got fucked around like a cunt all the time.
For how long?
For a year. But yeah, I got to Colchester. For the first 3 months, I kept my head down. Just, they call it the grey man, whereas you're just there. People don't know your name. You don't stand out. You're just there on the fitness.
What's the art to that?
To being the grey man.
Yeah.
Suppress all character and all personality. Have no social interactions, and
Really?
just say yeah.
Just like a non-player character.
Yeah, just go through the motions. Don't do anything that's going to make you stand out. So make sure you turn up to where you need to be with the right kit, right place, right time, things like that. Yeah, so I was the grey man. Obviously, people like with the new people, like when the new people come and stuff. Obviously, you're known as the new bloke, but you don't want to be like getting like a bullseye on your back for fucking up or stuff, because like, don't know. The problem with this is just, you can edit this bit out the fucking podcast or whatever, but thing is with me,
116.
yeah, 116.
118.
There's so much I've got to say and talk about. My mind just floods with fucking stuff to say, and it's hard getting it out. Do you know what I mean?
Where to start?
Yeah, where to fucking start? It's like proper autism.
Yeah.
But
autism's opposite of that.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is
Autism's like fucking. Do you ever remember the board that used to come on, like the blackboard with the girl and the fucking ventriloquist?
Oh yeah.
And it was like BBC 2 at 2 in the morning, just be like,
Yeah,
it's fucking dead tone.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's like autism and social aspects. We're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah,
there's just nothing there.
Yeah, there's too much there. But yeah,
There's too much is a good sign.
Yeah. But anyways, going back to it, obviously was the grey man for like 3 or so months or whatever. Everything was going all right, fucking getting on sound, all that sort of stuff. And I ended up getting in trouble with the police. I'm not going to go into too much detail of what happened and all that sort of stuff, as it's not something I want to highlight or talk about too much. Yeah, I don't want to incriminate myself.
Yeah.
But I got in trouble for something that I didn't do.
Allegedly. You allegedly got into trouble for something you definitely didn't do.
Honestly, I 100% did not do it.
Yeah.
But that obviously changed everything for me that moment.
But the grey man status was removed, or you just changed?
Everything. It was like another big penny dropping moment in my fucking life where, like, I saw the best in people, I saw the worst in people. I sort of had a bit of, like, going back to what I was saying about the black sheep moment when I fucking
Outside the cook, there was good
outside,
cookhouse.
yeah, stood outside the cookhouse and went and done that. It was another moment where, yeah, this ain't where I belong. I don't fucking fit in here, because there was like, so with being in 7RHA, it was down in Colchester and everything was kept in house. So like, whereas in Larkhill, Wiltshire, at the artillery headquarters, you've got multiple units there. So if any discipline issues or anything happens, or there's stuff that has incorrectly happened, or they're not following the correct policy or whatever, there's more chance of whatever's happening, somebody higher up finding out and it getting recorrected, or people get fucked or disciplined and all that sort of stuff. Everything was kept in house so they could get away with a lot.
Yeah. So
it was run to how whoever was in charge wanted it, and we had like quite a die-hard airborne sergeant major. So like, cut yourself and you bleed fucking maroon. Do you know what I mean? Like, he like lived and breathed it, like fucking loved it. So if you hadn't passed this P company course,
that's because his berets but maroon.
Yeah. So if you hadn't passed P company, you got treated very differently. You'd get called a hat. It's like a derogatory military term, which stands for like horrendous attitude to soldiering, like hats. Yeah. 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 So you get called hats. Yeah. And like, if we were on PT and things like that, you wouldn't be allowed, like, it was a weird one because the commanding officer of 16 Air Assault Brigade, which is what 7RHA is a part of, was saying everybody needs to be wearing like maroon PT t-shirts. So we used to wear these fucking, like the non-para trained people would be at the front of the PT session, like on a 10-mile run, so to speak. We'd be in a squad on our own at the front, and all these green T-shirts running along, getting loads of abuse from everybody that's passed this fucking course.
So these are in different T-shirts. The hats are in the green, and the maroon guys are the ones in the P company are maroon.
Yeah, if you'd like, I can't remember the book, but Ant Middleton's got a book where he actually speaks about his experience.
I read the book.
Yeah, with, I think he was like 9 Squadron Royal Engineers.
I remember the bit in the boozer when they're smashing all the glass on the floor, and he fucking diving into the glass and all that.
Yeah, and he punches
causing havoc.
Yeah, and he punches some bloke, and yeah, it's quite a toxic, weird.
Yeah.
That
is like true toxic masculinity. It's like, this is a bit too far.
Abusing power.
This is just like, you're way off track here, buddy.
Yeah.
This is not a positive outcome. This is a fucking cesspool of like weird nepotism.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a weird shitty gang.
Yeah.
It's like you need to be in the gang.
Have you seen Walking Dead?
No.
You never seen Walking Dead?
No.
You need to
That's
watch
probably
Walking
fucking taking over the world. I don't know what it was out. Is it good?
Yeah, it's all right. But I was going to reference, like, you've got a good group and then you've got a scumbag group.
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I get you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit like that. Yeah. I'm not saying everybody there's a scumbag.
Nah,
don't get me wrong, because they'll probably watch this and fucking...
They'll do what they need to do to fit in. This is the whole idea.
Yeah.
To be, like, we're social creatures, and we don't want to be, like, for our entire existence was belonging to the tribe.
Yeah.
If you got extradized, or if you were outcast out of the tribe, you couldn't have a relationship. You couldn't find food. You couldn't find water. You couldn't find shelter. So you would do everything to stay in the group.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if you're in a really toxic group, you have this weird contradiction between the desire to remain in the group, but also morally you feel very conflicted with what the group are doing.
Yeah. And then fucking it'd be things like, there was a massive drinking culture. Drinking was fucking massive. Oh, I'll just finish what I was saying about the fucking maroon tops quickly, as we were on that subject.
Yeah, you get a fucking finish, by the way. Tell me about the maroon tops.
Yeah. So with these fucking maroon tops, it'd be like fucking the commanding officer of 16 Air Assault Brigade would want everybody in maroon tops, so eventually we'd have to fucking do the PT sessions in maroon tops. But then their argument, the people that had passed this fucking P company course and all that sort of stuff, said, oh, well, we've not earned the right to wear maroon. Yeah. So we'd be getting even more shit. And I'd be like, in my mind, I'm like, are you fucking... Obviously, I'd want to say this, but I wouldn't be able to say this because obviously I'm fucking pond scum to them. Do you know what I mean? So it would just fucking end badly. But I'd be like, in my head, I'd be thinking, are you fucking stupid? Like, are you literally that fucking thick? You're giving me shit for something that I can't control. There's some fucking big officer fucking in some room, he's decided that we all need to wear fucking these fucking tops. You think I want to be fucking wearing this fucking thing that I've not earned the right to fucking wear? No. Do you know what I mean? So why are you being so fucking retarded to give me shit for something that
he can't take it out in the big officer, he needs to take it out in you.
Yeah, it was fucking retarded. And then all that sort of shit. It's just little things like that didn't really sit right. And there's like big drinking culture there. Massive drinking culture, so a lot of the lads wouldn't go home at the weekends, and they'd be fucking like smashing fucking booze and all that sort of stuff, and then they'd get bored, so they'd be in the accommodation, like, and these people are Monday to Friday, they're your bosses at work doing all this stuff. Do you know what I mean? They're the people that are meant to be fucking upholding the most fucking highest standards of discipline. They're meant to be the ones that you fucking trust. They're meant to be the ones, if you're in a wartime scenario, are the ones that fucking had your back and meant to be in this fucking so-called brotherhood, so to speak, and all this fucking bollocks. And they'd be getting pissed up, getting bored. And the next thing you know, you'd be hearing... I wasn't big into my drinking and all that sort of stuff at this point because I was really focused on my training, so I used to keep myself to myself. At the weekends, I'd go down to the like supplement shop in town and all that sort of stuff, spend a bit of time in there, speak with the owner, all that sort of shit. And they'd like come to my door, fucking banging on the door, and then they'd have like a set of boxing gloves. They'd be like, oh, come out here, you're fighting fucking whoever, like another lad that's not passed the course. I'm like, no, I ain't. I was like, why am I coming out here and having a fucking box to entertain you fucking dickheads? Whilst, like, he's my fucking mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's more my mate than you're my mate. Because me and him are going through this shit together. So why am I going to fight him to entertain you? And they used to hate that stuff. And then I'd, like, get fucking, like, hard time in work and all that sort of shit for that sort of thing. But that become more prevalent after, obviously, I stopped being the grey man, after getting in trouble with the police and all that sort of stuff. Like, I remember they'd have, like, a smoking area before, like, work. There's, like, a little smoking area on the end of the fucking offices. Like, you have a gun park, so it's, like, big fucking metal units, a bit like an industrial estate, it looks like.
What do you call it, a gun park?
Yeah.
Is that just a weird name, or is there fucking guns all over?
Yeah, there's guns. There's guns up there. Because obviously we're in the, it's artillery, innit? So we had a battery. So I was
that big you need to park your gun.
Yeah.
Decent.
Yeah. Big fuck off guns, 6 of them in a hangar. And then on the opposite side were all the officers' offices. And in the mornings and stuff, it'd be like being at school. They'd have to do a register to make sure everybody's there. And we'd all be stood there after PT. We'd be stood there before work, before going on to parade. And obviously everybody had found out I'd just got in trouble with the police and all that sort of stuff. And honestly, I was just getting fucking hammered every fucking day.
Hammered in what way?
With just abuse, really. Yeah, just a fucking... Just a bit of abuse. Yeah.
How did you take that?
I knew it wasn't true, so it didn't fucking bother me.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I know what's right.
Yeah.
I don't need fucking gratification or whatever from yous to...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I get you.
Like, I just stood there, head held up high, big smile on my face, like, not fucking bothered. And I remember I was really getting a stick off the group. So you got different, like, almost like, well, I call them divisions. So you got, like, gun troop, fire support teams. You got CP, which is, like, communications. You've got fucking the BQMS, which is, like, your stores, all that sort of stuff. And then you got, like, MT, which is your motor transport, all different departments. Obviously, I was gun troop. And, like, this is how silly it is. Like, so you're all one unit, but that unit will have beef with, say, like, that commando unit I was on about. But then the other, inside that unit, other departments will have beef with other departments. And it's all just fucking dumb. Do you know what I mean? It's like football team rivalry. Instead of all just working.
It's like a fucking soap opera.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking pathetic.
Just drama for the sake of it.
Yeah, it is. But anyways, these fucking lads in this fire support team were absolutely fucking peppering me with a load of shit. One morning, stood in this thing. And I was just stood there, like, not saying anything, just fucking taking it. Just not giving in, like, just not, like, buying into their shit. They were trying to provoke me, get a reaction and all that sort of stuff. And I was just stood there, like, not saying anything. Yeah. And then I remember this lad come over to me who'd never really spoken to me before, because obviously the people that had passed this P company course didn't really associate themselves too much with the people that hadn't passed this course. It all depends on how brainwashed they were or whatever. Because some lads were sound and all that sort of stuff and would hang around with you or chat to you or whatever. But this lad that I'd never really spoke before, but was quite, like, die-hard with the airborne stuff and all that sort of shit, the airborne mentality and that, he come up to me and I thought he was going to start giving me a load of shit. Anyways, they're all falling into the parade and he just fucking nudged me and goes, mate, he goes, I don't know how you're handling this so well. He goes, if it was me, I'd probably have fucking killed myself. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, I couldn't handle it the way you're handling it. And I was like, I'm going to take that as a...
big compliment.
I was like, thanks.
Yeah.
I was like, but I ain't done anything wrong. So it doesn't matter what any of these fucking fools say. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And then...
But what he's recognising your strength.
Yeah. And then he was like, fell in, and then that was that. And then, obviously, I was getting that daily. And obviously, this is where I really fell in love with the gym. This was another penny dropping moment, like a fucking turning point in my life kind of thing. It was like, obviously I was always massively into my weight training, had my weights in my room and all that sort of shit throughout the training, went to the gym, had a bench press when I was like fucking 12 in my room, all that sort of shit. And this is where like the moment for me was like, right, I need an outlet.
Yeah,
because
you need this. It's the escapism.
Yeah,
I need to feel good. I need to release this.
Because like I was having all this toxic energy putting into me from everybody else around me. I was having all this toxic masculinity energy being put into me, and I was becoming very angry. I was becoming a person that like I wasn't, and I was aware I wasn't being me. Like I was very angry, very frustrated. I'd be coming home at like weekends and stuff, and I'd be like going out with my friends from home and stuff, and I'd be like looking for trouble and like
Looking for the outlet.
Yeah, I was like becoming something that I really wasn't. And I was like, I can't let this fucking win. I need to channel this. So obviously, if you hadn't passed this P company course, you weren't allowed to use like the weight training facilities there, because they deemed weight training not beneficial for passing P company, because it's
Cardio fit. Yeah.
It's cardiovascular.
You don't want any extra muscle.
Yeah, and basically, at this point, it was full of like the chain of command was full of old school people that knew nothing about fucking nutrition, nothing about fucking weight training. And they just come up with the whole fucking bullshit like, oh, you'll get fucking muscle bound, bloody, blah, this, that, and the other. And I'm just thinking to myself, you're fucking so stupid.
Yeah.
You are so stupid. Like, it doesn't just happen like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do get what they're saying with like becoming muscle bound, because you don't see Phil Heath running fucking 10 miles or something.
You see fucking the Navy SEALs, you seen some of these guys?
Yeah,
they're like fucking linebackers.
Yeah, they're fucking tanks.
Sitting there 250 pounds with a backpack on, like 10 miles. Roger that.
Yeah.
Like, no bother.
Yeah.
I said, when did the where was the memo for these guys not being absolutely fucking jacked to their eyeballs?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
Here's some big corn-fed fucking, farmer boy who's just showing up, like being jacked for he was 10, like sitting there like rolling hay bales, and somebody's like, you're too muscle bound. Like, for what?
Yeah. And then, anyways, fucking, I started going to the gym, obviously, despite not passing this course and all this sort of stuff, and I'd be in there training and all that sort of stuff. And there was this one sergeant in particular, who will remain nameless. He was a fucking cock. But anyways, he's that typical...
Call the cunt out. Call that fucker out. Let him know the cunt.
Nah, I ain't gonna. But anyways, he thought he was fucking hard as nails. But he was built like a side of a fiver. He was that bloke that would stack 2 fucking 20s on the side of the easy bar.
I know where this is going.
He'd stack 2 fucking 20s on the side of the easy bar and be fucking swinging it like a fucking twat. And even at 19, I'd like fucking sit there and look at him and just think, you are, like, bearing in mind this bloke's 30.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, you've done all this fucking military training, all this sort of shit. You are just a fucking weasel. That's what I'd be thinking.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're just a fucking loser. And like, in normal society, like, there's some people that obviously do really well outside of the military in normal society, like, but a lot of people do hide their weaknesses within the military. They can be somebody in the military that they're not outside of the military. Do you know what I mean? They've got 2 different personas. two different personalities, whereas I've always just been me, no matter where I've been or what environment or whatever. I've always just been true to myself and who I am and all that sort of stuff. And I don't know if maybe it highlighted that sort of stuff in themselves and it made them feel uncomfortable as they couldn't be themselves. Do you know what I mean?
It's probably that you're recognising that they've got a persona, a facade,
Yeah.
and you're seen through the facade, and that makes them feel insecure.
Yeah.
It's probably more like that rather than you're being really authentic.
Yeah.
It's you're going, I can see through you.
Mm.
And they're going, you need to respect me because my identity's this in the military. And you're like, it's really see-through.
Yeah.
And this is what's happening.
Yeah.
That sound more like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then fucking this bloke would always be kicking me out the gym and all that sort of stuff. So it got to the point where, bearing in mind at this point, we'd have PT in the mornings, and then fucking we'd have right, it was called HAT PT, non-paratrain PT. So later on in the afternoon, we'd have like additional fitness. So we'd do like a fucking 10-mile run or a loaded march in the morning. And then the non-paratrain PT would be like an interval session or something to build us up for the P Company course. Whenever we got put on that, which again, a load of lads got fucked around for. And then we'd always get in shit like, oh, why the fuck have you not passed P Company yet? Bloody, bloody, blah. Most of the time, the lads be like, because we've never had the fucking opportunity to go on it because your fucking regiment's fucking understaffed. Do you know what I mean? You ain't got the manpower to facilitate the fucking stuff that you need to be doing. Do you know what I mean? Go have a fucking recruitment drive or something.
Yeah. And sort your fucking house out.
Yeah. And anyways, kept getting kicked out of the gym and all that sort of stuff. And the non-paratrain lads would have to wake up really early in the morning at 6:15, 6:30 to do, it's called areas. And you all wake up and fucking the bonko, the duty officer, will meet you down in the fucking hallway, like the lobby area of your accommodation, tick you off on a register to see if you're there or not. And then you'd have to go walk around litter picking. So that's what we would have to do every fucking morning or whatever. And I'd wake up earlier than that. I'd wake up at 4:15. I'd have my oats, have my fucking whey protein, have my bananas, all that sort of stuff. And I'd go to the regimental gym. The regimental gym, it was like 24-hour. It was always open. And what I found out was that nobody from my unit was using that facility at that time. So that's where I found my outlet. I was
Happy
doing
place.
Yeah, I was on my own. There was no cunt in there. I was like loving my weight training, like trained fucking like bodybuilding style training, squats, deadlifts, fucking all that sort of stuff. And one thing I always struggled with the running side. I wasn't really shit, but I wasn't really good. I was in the middle. But because I was in the middle and I had that fucking thing highlighted about me, I was a target, and then I was always being told that I was shit. It was like being back at school. There was like, you're fucking shit, you're fucking this, you're fucking that. And I had a little lapse at that point, and I let them in, and I started to question everything. I was like, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like...
The crack in the dam has started.
Yeah, I was like, fucking hell, I am shit.
Yeah.
And I've just went through, obviously, doing my phase 2 training, prior to that, being in the front, one of the fittest, like one of the top dogs from my mate Jack, to then go into there. And I was like...
Was Jack in this place, or did he go somewhere else?
Jack was in a different battery. He was in F battery, and I was in G battery.
So is that still the same place, but a different group?
Different group,
right.
Different set of people.
Yep.
And F battery was always more of like... So G was known as Fighting G battery, and F battery didn't really have a nickname. I don't know why it was Fighting G battery. I couldn't tell you, but there's obviously some history to it and all that sort of stuff. But then I started to believe that I was shit.
Yeah.
And
if you call somebody a duck long enough, one day they're going to quack to see if it's true.
Yeah, yeah. And then all of a sudden, like, I thought,
why bother? What's the point in that?
Yeah, I was like, I just lost the fight in myself a bit. But yeah, I was like smashing the gym, found my happy place, doing my outlet and all this sort of stuff. And then from that first point of getting into trouble with the police, then I ended up getting fucking in so much more trouble.
What, with the police?
Not with the police.
The military?
Yeah, with the military and people in the military.
Because we're rising up.
Yeah, there's two really significant points again where the penny dropped. So, do you remember when England made it to the semi-final of the World Cup?
No, because I think England are cunts.
Yeah,
Sorry,
fair enough.
they are. Like,
Yeah.
these fucking lager-like football cunts that drive you nuts.
Yeah,
England.
Yeah, shit.
That's
innit?
all you hear.
Yeah.
You go, mate, like what? Like, no wonder worldwide people can't stand you. England. And that's all you hear. It's like, so they're just, they're really abusive to the other side. They take over like anywhere.
Yeah.
There's nothing friendly about them.
No.
Right, and then like they just start this really low vibrational frequency. England. Like,
I don't
fuck,
watch
get
football.
fucked, man.
I don't watch football, but anyways, England made it to the fucking semi-final of the World Cup in like 2017 or whatever, and everybody was out on the piss in town, but me and one of my mates, and anyways, fucking and another bloke called Todge, who was again one of my bosses.
Dodge.
Yeah.
Fucking name.
Yeah, that fucking he lived on my corridor. He was one of the fire support team bosses. He was a bombardier, so he had rank. He lived on my corridor, and everybody was out on the piss or whatever. And I'd lost my room key somewhere. Don't know where it was. Don't know if it was on the way back from the gym or whatever. I'd lost my room key, and anyways, obviously couldn't get into my room. And then I was like to my mate Hoppo, I was like, Hoppo, let us fucking just stay in your room for tonight or whatever, because I've lost my room key so I can get one in the morning. And he was winding me up. He was being a cunt because he knew I was a hand grenade. So he's like, nah, I ain't letting you stay in my room. You can get to fuck. And I was like, come on, don't be a dick, please. I'll do it for you and all this sort of stuff. He's like, nah, not a chance. I was like, come on, don't be so fucking tight. And then he's winding me up thinking it's really funny. And he's like, nah, you need to sort out now, sort yourself out and all this sort of stuff. So I've gone to this fucking Todge's room. I've knocked on his door. I was like, excuse me, Bombardier, sorry to bother you. I was like, I've lost my room key. Is there any chance you can sort of help me? He goes, to be honest with you, mate, it's not, I could hear the football on in the background. He goes, to be honest with you, mate, it's not my problem. He goes, I've got other stuff on. And he just said, phone the Bonko, which is the duty officer.
So basically everybody in your fucking unit's watching this game and you're needing a key.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he's just fucking closed the door in my face. And I've gone down, there's a set of orders in the accommodation, and orders is like daily things, like times you need to be places, like events and stuff like that. It's like, basically, be there at the right time, right kit, right place kind of thing. And then there's Bonko's number on there. And I phoned up the Bonko, and funny enough, he was a Scottish bloke called Dicko. I was like, excuse me, Bombardier Dixon, it's Gunner Cook. I was like, I'm sorry to disturb you, but I've lost my room key. Is there any chance you can help me? And I could hear he was in some pub somewhere doing something that he wasn't meant to be, because he's meant to be on camp on duty. And I was like, is there any chance you can sort of help me? I've lost my room key. He's like, oh, I'll sort it out tomorrow, or not. Phone this bloke called Sergeant Page. He's like I can't remember the fucking thing. It's like Bonko, but Soko, the sergeant officer, that's like the rank above him. Like everything's a rank structure in it. Yep. But anyway, he's like, phone Sergeant Page, you'll see you right and all this sort of stuff. I was like, all right, fine. Phone the Sergeant Page, no answer. Phone Dicko back. I was like, excuse me, Bombardier Dixon, it's Gunner Cook, blah, 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 blah. Fucking Sergeant Page, he's not answering his phone. Is there any chance you can come and help me? He's like, to be honest with you, mate, it's really not my problem. I'm busy. Hung up the phone. Gone back up to this Todge's fucking room, knocked on his door. I'm like, excuse me, Bombardier Todge. I was like, sorry to bother you again, but Bombardier Dixon's occupied. Is there any chance you could sort of help me? He goes, mate, it's really not my problem. Shut the door in my face. And then my mate Hoppo, some of the lads had come back a bit early from the football, and they were all fucking winding me up, saying that they had my fucking room key and that. And they didn't. None of them had it, but it fucking pissed me off. Anyways, I've looked at this Bombardier Todge's fucking door. I've looked at my fucking door, and I've just fucking booted the door off the fucking hinges, and all the fucking frame fell into the room. The fucking bricks come out, like real fucking battered this door. this Todge's door was just fucking ripped open. He's like, what the fuck have you just done? I was like, well, no fucking cunt's been fucking helping me, have they? I said, I'm fucking here, fucking needing help. Everybody that's in the fucking position of power is taking the piss with it, trying to fucking thingy, and you're just leaving me here like I'm some sort of fucking cunt. I was like, you can all fucking fuck off. I was like, I wanted to get in my room, and this fucking door's fucked. And then anyways, turns out this fucking Bombardier Todge has phoned this Bombardier Dixon. They've both come up with some bullshit story that I've come back in off the piss after watching the football. Lost my room key out in town because I'm fucking drunk. Come in and fucking kick my door like off the fucking hinges. And there was nothing I could say because it was two like officers, like Bombardiers.
Classic police shite. Oh, there's two officers. You can't go against two officers more than
Yeah, because they can't do anything wrong because they've fucking been given this rank and this position of power.
Yeah.
They can't do anything wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Fuckers.
Yeah. So they've come up with this fucking story. I've come in off the piss and fucking kicked this fucking door in, and I was like, in my head, I was like fucking stewing because it weren't the truth. It weren't the fucking.
What was the outcome of it all?
I got fucking charged £1,000 for my fucking door, like fucking 800 and something quid. Yeah.
Was it worth it? Yeah.
Have you read that book? It's like it's a red book with a fucking blue circle in the middle. It's like the conscious laws of human. Fuck, what's it called?
I think so. I remember a Robert Greene book called The 47 Laws of Power, but isn't that?
No, it's not that.
But it's the covers are similar to that.
Yeah. I can't fucking remember what it's called. That's quite a good book.
The first self-help book that I ever read was Paul McKenna's Instant Confidence.
Okay.
I read it when I was 20, and anybody that would have known me would have been like, there's fucking no danger this guy needs any more confidence. Ollie, I was fucking delicious back in the day, man. Wow.
Yeah. See, I've never, like, growing up, never really had much confidence.
I was oozing it. I mean, like, I'd make people's fucking hearts flutter. I was like, he'd be like, wow, man. Just that aura.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with this book? And there must have been something where I was, you know, how you were talking about that. I knew there was more.
Yeah.
I knew there was more, and I was like, right, we're going to find out what this is.
Yeah.
And it's funny because how I learned how to do hypnosis was under Paul McKenna. It's a big whole convoluted story how I ended up there.
Yeah.
And it started from reading that book.
Yeah,
and I was like, does this work? Because initially, like I can be like positively skeptical where I'm like, does that work? And I might have a negative sort of, not negative is the wrong word, but a skeptical view on it.
Yeah.
But I will try it to see if it works with an open mind.
Mm.
And then I was like, this fucking works. Because I had a little bit of disbelief that it would work as easily as they said it would.
Yeah. Adam wants to try the hypnosis.
The what?
The hypnotising.
Who?
Adam.
Oh, he's a shite bag. He's like, nah, don't start your shit.
He wants to try it.
Does he?
Yeah.
What do you think we should get him to do?
Fuck knows.
Because I mean, I like doing the ultra high performance stuff. Like, see where like you're really stuck. It's funny, my missus laughs. She's like, "Why is it people bring you their broken wives and children?" Because it's some fucking like super duper CEO.
Yeah.
It'll be like they'll pay a lot of money for you to help them, but they'll pay even more money if you can fix their wife. So it's like, you need to prerequisite this. Like, this isn't a cars in the bowl scenario. This is like you're bringing me your wife so that we can fix an issue.
Yeah.
But it's unbelievably powerful.
Yeah.
Incredible. It's fascinating to see how well it works.
Mm.
I was blown away with it because there was things that I would learn how to do. This isn't going to fucking work. But right, okay, like give it a crack, give it a try. And people would be like, what have you just done to me? And it's all of how we program things into us.
Mm.
And what it's like is if somebody gave you, nobody's gave you the instruction manual for this thing that's in your head.
Mm.
And then you get a couple of pages of the instruction manual and you're looking at it going, fucking surely can't be like this. And then you use it and it's like, oh yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's amazing. It's like black magic, but it's not. It's just actually how we operate, like how our brains actually work.
Yeah. It is interesting.
It's so, like, it's got so much depth. And you know what you're saying about, what's great about it is that it's tangible to everyone. Everyone's got
a degree of it.
Yeah. Everyone's got a degree of it, and even people I've had clients have came to me who have said, "Look, I've been to the best hypnotist in the world, and like, there's not been able to do it." So, like, well, give it a try if you want. And
Yeah.
they're like, I don't know how I've got the knack for it, but I seem to have the knack for it, and I put it down to being so interested in it for years.
Could be in your bloodline.
You think so?
Could be.
What would be in the blood?
Fucking hypnosis.
Yeah, maybe. But it's my missus thinks I'm an alien.
Do
She's
you reckon
like,
that is a thing?
what?
Things being passed through your bloodline like that? Like abilities?
Yeah. I think that is a thing. And I wonder how much of your soul, like if you had a soul and it lives like over and over again in different lives, and I wonder how much, like I believe like your consciousness is what you're connected to, this thing that we call God or the fucking universe or the cosmos and all that type of thing. Like we are all connected to it.
A bit like Avatar with the tree.
It's like, yeah, we were all connected to Awa. We're like, and it's not until you sit down and you stop. And I think that's why your guy swung way out to the other end of the fucking spectrum, because he's now like the tree and Awa.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm still want to get big though.
Yeah.
Any chance you can come off the tree for a wee bit and show me what
show me some knowledge.
updated of bench press is.
That's
like,
it.
And that's where like it gets a bit off track, where I'm sort of like, well, I believe that we have all this really cool stuff that we've ignored, and it's really good to tap back into it.
Yeah.
But what I see with a lot of people that go on that sort of trip, if you like, they tend to go way out at the extreme, and then if you're still here on this side of it, which is the physical element which we exist within, it's like you need to have a connection to both. It's not one or the other.
But do you not think maybe, do you know that way of thinking?
Which way of thinking?
Like that whole spiritual way of thinking and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Would you not say that is like, to some degree, a form of escapism from what might be reality?
I think some people could use it like that, but I think if you've done enough work, like if you opened up and says, "Look, I'm an adventurer, and I want to see what's true, and I'm open to it, whatever it may be. I'm not going to go for escape. I just want to see what's there."
You just want to go for an adventure.
Yeah, you would want to go for adventure, and when you go there, you go, "Oh." And like psychedelics is a great way to do it, because you don't need to do the 45 minutes of breath work to do it. I mean, it's like it's the there's Mother Nature's like access card to it if you want it, and you're like, it's like getting on a roller coaster. There's the roller coaster, and you're like, and it's like, bitch, this fucking thing's going right to the end, and you just sit back and enjoy, like, enjoy the.
Yeah, I'm not wanting on that roller coaster.
When the time's right, it's not something you want. It's not something you want to do when you're
just
not ready
off the
for
cuff.
it. No.
Yeah,
I think that it's. I think that's something you want to do when you you're ready for it.
Do you feel like it finds you? You don't find it.
No. I think you come to it. I think what happens, it's always there and it's waiting for you. Like whenever you're ready, it's like it going. Like, listen, it's always here.
Yeah.
When you want it, but it's when you want it. No, when it's not going to come for you. It's there for you, and it's sitting there like mushrooms is like getting an appointment with fucking God. Like some angels on the phone to you, like, you want to come down, have a look. It's like it can be a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
DMT's, I mean, DMT is intense.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Like I would say, if you're going to explore it, like I would say, mushrooms is a way easier, and the way easier thing to do. And the good thing, like like a dimmer switch. Mushrooms is like a dimmer switch, so you can have a little tiny bit, and you can ease yourself in. Like DMT's on or off. Like you're either off or you're shot through the cosmic cannon of fucking, interdimensional realities, whatever that may be, and into something you barely understand.
Yeah.
And it's extremely intense, and you're back, and you're like, whew, what was that? Where mushrooms is more like, hey, get used to it. take a little bit, feel how nice it feels.
Yeah.
Just feel the euphoria. And then if you want a little bit more and a little bit more, you can stage up. It's a bit like doing our pyramid in weights.
Yeah.
Like it allows you to warm up.
Yeah.
DMT's the let's stick 500 kilos in the deadlift and fucking put it into the stratosphere. Like there's no in between.
Yeah.
Where mushrooms is more kind of like you can go at, if you wanted it, you don't need to go all in. You can dip your toe and figure out if it's for you or not. But have you ever done any party drugs?
Nah. I've only ever smoked a bit of weed, and that's about it, really.
You ever done original ephedrine?
Yeah.
You know that wavy euphoria that lifts you? Mushrooms is like a small amount of mushrooms.
I don't know. Ephedrine just makes me like fucking. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like.
When did you take it?
Fuck it. When?
Anything post 2006 is fucking dodgy.
Oh yeah, well, post.
Aye, well, anything like the OG to like 2007 and before, had a high chance of getting good ephedrine, and now
I was just taking it in the ECA stack.
I don't think that's not real ephedrine.
Ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin.
I know the stack.
I'm fucking on the bodybuilding scene. Do you know what I mean? I'm not on this party drug popping scene.
Yeah. No, the ECA, like the original ECA was good.
Yeah.
But see them shite that they came out with for like 08 onwards, like this. Like I know because of real ephedrine, I would take it, but this isn't fucking ephedrine. I don't know if it was like some derivative or some sort of analog or some like fucking weird like overloaded caffeine or the same. I took the Jack 3D. I remember that it got banned. But I had just a sore right testicle. Just the right one. I'm like, what the fuck's in this? And then I thought, nah, it can't be that. Or like, why would it not be both testicles? Surely you would get fucking two sore testicles. I thought, oh no, it must have just been a weird fucking coincidence. Took it again, same thing. I was like, I'm not fucking going near
weird,
that.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but the original ephedrine is like you would get this wavy euphoria coming up.
Yeah. And
you would know. I gave it to my sister when I wanted her to clean one of the flats. And she was like fucking, humming and hawing. I was like, take a couple of these. And then
did you like the Jack 3D?
No. Compared to real ephedrine, it was like
did it make your skin go fucking red and that?
The Jack 3D or ephedrine?
Jack 3D.
I felt flushed.
Like
I felt
fucking proper red and blotchy.
I don't remember it being blotchy. I just remember feeling the rush. I had more important problems, Ollie, which was why is my fucking right ball sore? I had more fucking pressing issues than how does my skin look. But the ephedrine was fucking different stuff, man. I gave it to my sister and she's fucking turning up the tunes in the van. She's like, I can't believe how good this song is. It's like, oh, it's kicked in.
That's what I was. Me and my mate, we used to go to the school gym. Like once school finished, it'd be like an hour slot between 3 and 4, and I used to fucking get the fucking Jack 3D out. At like
did you like it?
At 14, 15, yeah.
Jesus.
I fucking loved it. It was ace. But I just went in there, have a scoop of it, skin all fucking red.
There was one that Gaspari Nutrition did back in the day.
Super Pump Max.
I don't know what it was called, but it was fucking blue. Mixed up and it was like blue raspberry or something. It was really good. But we were fucking off our chops, man. I would like, right, I'll mix this up, can of fucking Red Bull, 4 ephedrine, fucking banging aspirin. Oh, you were doing tricep push downs, pumped up to fuck.
Yeah, see,
what a pump.
I feel like I was born in the wrong time frame.
But even like trance tunes, like proper fucking like trance music, it just felt like I was at a rave. But exercising, great times, man.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking good times. But mushrooms are good. But I get a bad rap. And I had the same thought before. I was like, I'm not fucking doing them.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea of DMT appealed because it was 10 minutes. I was like, I can handle 10 minutes. And like, I've not got fucking 8 hours spare to go tripping balls. Again, it's not like that. It's the intense parts, maybe 60 to 90 minutes. Which if anybody told me, they'd be like, well, that's fucking fair enough. But I'd had these, and you hear all these stories of people like being off their fucking tits for 12 hours. And, I was like, man, that sounds fucking horrendous.
There's that thing, I've seen it online. They go into the ayahuasca camps, don't they?
Aye.
That's like, you can be in that shit for like fucking 2 days and that.
No, the ayahuasca lasts like 8 hours, but what they're doing is they're doing multiple doses over the different days. So they've like Ollie Ollerton, I don't know if you read his book.
Yeah.
But he talks about it where it was like they
Did
reckon.
he go do that shit? Did he?
I did. But at the end of his book, it was actually really profound. Like I thought,
Yeah.
do you know what, mate? Like fair play to you. This is really fucking emotive. This is powerful stuff. And he was like he opened up big time, and there was a few of the guys that were there.
Yeah,
they had a rough old fucking time on this trip. And he says the first trip is the one that you need, you don't want. It's the one that it's what you need to be told. Then the second and third are the healing, and the fourth is the one that you'll enjoy. And they do that over like 3 days, 4 days. And the guy, veterans were going over there, and their wives, like, guy had a really, really bad trip. Thought his wife was in the gates of hell and they were being tortured, and you know, basically the guy was fucking terrified. Like he came out this trip, he's like, my wife and kids are in hell. He says, and it's this eternal like indemnation of them. And he's like fucking like panicking, like there's no phones, no contact, and like, calm down, you're all right, everything's fine. He's like, I need to fucking make sure they're okay. It's on the phone, like the wife and kids are fine. Sit down and speak about it after it. He's like, I realise what it is. He's like, I'm putting them through hell with where I am. And that was what the trip was showing him.
Crazy, isn't it?
And then the last one was him coming to terms with it all and at peace. And he's white, like Ollie goes on to say, the guy came back from the Peru where they did the ayahuasca ceremony. And his wife was like, I don't know what you done over there. She says, but the guy that left isn't the same guy that came back. She says, he left and my husband came back.
That's good.
I was like, man, that's powerful stuff.
Yeah, it is.
But it's like ayahuasca is called the vine of the souls. So the vine of the souls or the vine of the dead, and it's like really, really kind of, you know, it's been a bit hyped, and you know, people are doing it, you know, just because they're jumping on the bandwagon, but its roots are very, very solid. And you know, the shamanic practitioners that do it, that are like the original ones, are really good. There's a big sort of boom in ayahuasca tourism. People are, you know, maybe doing it for the wrong reasons on both sides, the shamans and the centres. And
a bit like bodybuilding.
Aye, it's just like anything. It's human nature. Like I don't think it's a particular sector. It's human nature will show up wherever. Yeah. Yeah, like we've got, like, we have a good side, we have a bad side, and it's that battle that we fight all the way through. Yeah. And it's never all good, and it's never all bad. No. And that's the whole experience. We try and figure it out. Yeah. But back to your original question, I think when you, like, I was, you know, when I was maybe your age, I was like really reductionist, really materialistic. Right, we're just a fucking biological soup. We have this thing. You're born, you live, you die. That's it. Come here, make a killing, have a fucking good time, get to the top, do it before you die. Done. That was really it. And then as you sort of go on, you know, you see you can see the really subtle fingerprints of it if you look and you notice. And I think what happens is you see a little bit and you go, I wonder what that is. And it comes out in a little bit more.
What, like the true meaning of what life should be? Is that what you're sort of meaning?
No, well,
because obviously you said you were chasing materialism and things like that.
Well, it's like how much fucking millions they need to, like, you know, you make a couple million quid. It's like, you know, say you make 5 million quid. Like, is another 5 million quid going to make you double the happiness? No, it's fucking like, at some point, how much money do you actually need?
Would you say it's more of like coming to terms with, like, striking a middle ground with it, where you've got enough financial freedom to live a life that you want, but then also keeping grounded and sort of in a position where you don't forget the little things that matter, your friendships, the people that love you, the people that really care about you, things like that. Because I feel like maybe for some people that chase money or want these materialistic things or want to push the envelopes and the boundaries and things like that, maybe they lose sight of the important things to them and ruin friendships and get caught up in all their own bullshit too much. Yeah. And forget about the little things. Yeah, I mean, like, it's... Would you say that's the...
I think that's a symptom of it. I don't think that's the core of it. I think it's a symptom. Like, it's what happens because of...
Doing those things.
Yeah. You do these things...
It's like almost like a side effect.
Like, for instance, if I was to say to you, do you think you've got a soul? Do you think you've got a soul?
100%.
Right, where is your soul in your body point at?
fucking all over.
No, we'll point to where it's the strongest, because it's somewhere in your body. Where do you feel it?
Fuck knows.
Well, have a think.
I'm thinking.
You looked there. Where is it? Put your finger on it.
I don't know. I
You
was
do.
just looking.
You looked at it twice. So is it in here?
Well,
Or
yeah.
is it somewhere in your body?
I'll say it's all over.
You think it's all over? It emanates from somewhere. Where do you think it is? Have a guess. Have a guess where it comes from in your body.
Go on, tell me.
Where do you think? You looked at it twice.
Go on, tell me.
Well, shut
Go
go
on.
on, be a big boy.
Go on, tell me. No, I just want to
Right,
see
your
if you
heart.
know.
Your heart
You reckon?
comes from your heart. Your soul's in your heart. Your consciousness is in your brain. It's right here.
Yeah.
That little tingle that you get at the back of the neck, that feeling of deja vu that you've seen something before and you know you've never been here.
Mm.
That little connection where something just pops in your head and you go, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
That's you connected to consciousness. And your soul hurts when you're doing something that's not really good for it.
Yeah.
You're chasing something and you get a little feeling, a little twang, a little pain. You go,
Nah, I shouldn't be doing this.
shouldn't be doing this. And that's your
Shouldn't
soul.
I? Yeah.
That's your soul and it's in here.
Yeah, I'm a believer in a bit of that.
Yeah. And this is what I mean is like,
Do like
you don't
it
need
like
to go full happy. You don't need to go fucking an ayahuasca retreat. Just pay attention to it being there.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like, I feel like from a young age, I've been very self-aware of who I am and what I'm about and what I stand for. And I feel like that comes into the same.
Yeah. And that's the
context.
thing is like when you were a kid, like when you were a kid, you never had any of these like social conditioning to, are you this, are you that? You were like, no, I've got a soul.
Yeah, I was like, I know.
Yeah, I'm connected to something wonderful. Like
Yeah.
this place is amazing. Like you never had any of this.
Mm.
And it's like the army, it's like life's brainwashed this out of you. So
Yeah.
you get like when you get people like, and I see them like I need ultra elite coaching. Like, right, so what do you think's wrong? Well, they've got the cars, they've got the houses, they've got the money, they've got the financial freedom. So they've got all the what should be what you want. Guess what's missing? Guess what hurts?
The soul.
Because they're so disconnected from it.
Yeah. Or, like, to get to that position, they've had to do things wrong, in a sense. Do you know what I mean? Break friendships, break trust.
It's like you ever go out in nature?
Sometimes.
Yeah, you go out in nature, like you said you were jumping off the rocks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. What did you like about it?
The adrenaline, the buzz.
Yeah. Did it feel good?
Yeah, it feels fucking ace.
You could get that arguably in a theme park.
And it's
But
like,
it felt different, didn't it?
yeah, because it's like you might fucking die.
Yeah. And it's also this wasn't constructed, this was perfectly done the way it was. Like whoever created this fucking thing that we exist in, they did a good job. Holy shit. And you go, look at this. Look, like this, nature's playground. We didn't need mechanical stuff. We didn't need any of that. But this was fucking awesome. And you go out and you feel the rush. You can feel the water on you. You feel the wind in your face, the sun in your skin. You're like, this just hits. There's something special about this.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can go on a roller coaster and you're like, yeah. You get a picture of you going, but it's not the same as jumping off a cliff or climbing a tree or like being in the mud or doing something wild and just like carefree. You go,
Like taking 2 scoops of Jack 3D and
Nah,
squatting
fuck that,
fucking
man.
250 kilo.
nah, fucking, that's a different hit. That hits like, that's another different hit altogether. I get that one as well though. 2 scoops, nah man, that was, my balls couldn't have took that.
They would have exploded. The right one.
Just the right
You'd have
one.
ended up like
I'd have been a fucking monoball. I'd have just had the single nut. And I'd have just had this fucking like exploded ball with Jack, sponsored by Jack 3D on the side of it.
Fuck's sake. But yeah.
So where did we get to? You were
Up to that,
you were in the military, you found your happy place in the gym.
yeah, the two points before, like, I've fucking obviously found.
What age are you at this point?
20.
20. Right.
Yeah.
You're not fucking about, like you're getting out and living a bit of life here.
Yeah, yeah, and I fucking managed to get a flat back home when I was 20. Saved up my money from like the army, things like that. Managed to get a fucking flat.
You're not as fucking thick as you look, Ollie.
I'm not.
Oh, you're surprisingly fucking switched on, mate.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the nicest possible way.
Thanks.
When you take that as all the compliment it means.
Yeah, managed to get a flat whilst I was in the army.
Fair play, mate. Well done.
Rented it out because obviously I knew I knew I wanted to pursue something with bodybuilding and all that sort of stuff. At a
Like
young age.
what when you say pursue bodybuilding, what like are you want to go fucking compete in Olympia? You just want to compete? Are you just want to train? What's your aspirations?
I wouldn't say I've got like I don't know. I feel like
What was it then?
what was it then?
Yeah. So you rented out the flat. The picture scene go back there. You've rented out the flat. You're in this military career, and you want to pursue something in bodybuilding. What did that mean to you at that point? Like
Well,
pursuing bodybuilding.
I don't know if I can give you an answer to that yet. I think I'm still trying to figure that out. But
Was it just you knew that was the general direction rather than anything particular?
well, going through like my phase of training, that I said I had the weights in my room and all that sort of stuff, and I would be like doing my dumbbell curls and all that sort of stuff. I have my protein and all that sort of shit. I'd be like watching the YouTube videos. I'd be watching like James Hollinshead. I'd be watching Luke Sandow when they were with Red Cotton One, all that sort of stuff. I'd be watching all that sort of stuff on YouTube. And all my mate, like the lads that were, because you stay in a mixed accommodation and all that sort of shit, they're like, "What the fuck are you watching that shit for? What's that fucking bollocks?" and all this sort of shit. They just didn't get it, and like, I didn't care that they didn't get it. I didn't care that they was giving me shit. It's what I like. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna hide what I like because somebody's saying this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean?
So they're giving you shit for watching big, juiced up, fucking tanned, oiled men in thongs.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And fair enough.
yeah. Well, it's like there's obviously a lot of things. I've had a lot of stuff happen actually thinking about it. Because like even when I was like fucking 16, I was joking around with my old man. I was like, when I'm fucking 20 fucking... I said it to my mate, Ben, that I used to train with. I used to be like, when I'm 23, I'm going to get on the gear and fucking pursue bodybuilding and all that sort of stuff. And he just thought I was taking the piss, but that's what I actually went and done. But anyways, when I was like fucking 16, I was fucking around with my old man. And I was joking around with him. I was like, I'm going to fucking get on the steroids and that. And he's like, really? I was like, yeah. But I was only joking, but that's just my sense of humour.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna fucking start getting seriously into it and all that sort of shit. And I remember coming home from school one day, fucking been training with my mate Ben, come home and that. Come home, he's like, "Oh, come up here in the kitchen," sat at the kitchen table. And there was these 3 pots of Winstrol on the table. And I was like, he's like, "Look, I got you some steroids." And he's like, "Look," he goes, "I don't want you going into this fucking off your own back." He goes, "If you're ever going to do anything like that, just fucking talk to me about it." Obviously, he's got mates that have done bodybuilding and things like that, that he's been around. Obviously, at this point, this is going back 11 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we did have the internet and things like that back then. Obviously, I'm only going off of what I know now at this point.
So now you weren't looking up fucking Andreas Munzer's death cycle, no, at that point.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Move that a bit closer to you.
Yeah, I wasn't fucking looking at all that sort of stuff. But obviously, the information that he was getting at that point, obviously, from his mates, was like old school knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It was just, that was that. Just take the tablets, just come off them kind of thing. Obviously, at that age, it's quite a stupid thing to do, knowing what I know now and things like that. But it happened. There's nothing you can change about it and all that sort of shit.
Did you get on them at 16?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Give them a little blast.
How was it?
Yeah, it was decent.
What changed? What happened?
Well, I just noticed that everything was fucking... all my muscles become harder and all that sort of shit. I remember going on a date with a girl to the cinema, and my fucking joints were fucked. I sat in the cinema and my knees were killing me because obviously Winstrol fucking dries your joints out a bit and stuff like that. But I feel like it was that little... for some reason, it gave me that little push that I needed.
Yep.
Like, people can slay it. Well, how irresponsible is your fucking dad? Bloody.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do it, like, he's what he's doing is like, I know you're going to do it. I don't want you to do it behind my back.
Yeah.
So I don't want you taking some fucking shit.
Yeah, I'd rather you fucking...
So it's like, right, you're becoming at this age where you're either going to do it behind my back and buy some fucking shite online.
Yeah.
Or look, but I can give you some guidance and you don't need to hide it and it's
Yeah,
open.
Yeah.
I think fair play.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, fair play to him. And that's fucking good on him. And especially if he's been around guys and whether it's old school information, these guys have done it and it's worked.
Yeah. Well, the bloke that I don't want to say too much, but the chap that he got it off was a really good bodybuilder in our area.
Yeah.
He's won like loads of fucking competitions back through like the 90s and thousands and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, he's a real knowledgeable guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's helped me quite a lot getting into the sport and things like that. So,
Well, shout out to the vague bodybuilder that we don't know the name of, but if you search on the local area, the guy that won a lot, then fair play to that dude.
yeah. Yeah.
Whoever he may be.
Yeah. But, yeah, that.
But look, it's like, look, if young guys want to do it, now you can give them advice, and if they still like want to crack on, then that's ultimately their call.
Yeah.
And as long as they're, like it's better that they're doing it with some degree of supervision.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like even publicised, like see some of the stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
Remember, what's his fucking name? The guy that was, what's his name again? He's fucking dead now.
Rich Piana.
No, he was another one right enough, but
Dallas McCarver.
No.
Bodybuilder.
He was a bodybuilder, he was shite, but he took loads of gear. And he was getting loads of hype. Loads and loads and loads of hype.
Oh, the French bloke.
Nah, he was fucking American.
Oh.
That's going to fucking bug me now.
You'll text me later on tonight.
Oh,
like
we
fucking
find it.
1 in the morning.
We're going to find this now. What's his name? Fucking he used to have like 97% natural, and he was I'm going to fucking look it up. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
What's his fucking name? You know, honestly, it's the tip of my tongue.
I had quite an action-packed couple of years, really.
So you got on the juice, and you got on the Winstraw.
16.
Fucking. And when did you come off?
Like 12 weeks after.
Right. How did it feel? Fine?
Sound?
Aye, magic.
Yeah, then done it again when I was fucking 21.
What did you jump on this time? Same again?
D-bowls.
Any difference?
Yeah, I gained like fucking 10 kilo in 4 weeks. I went from being able to run fucking 10 mile willy-nilly to not be able to run fucking one. I was in the military then at that point as well. No, I was 20 actually. Sorry, I was 20 because I'd done them when I was in Colchester.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd done the D-balls when I was in Colchester, in the army, because at that point I was getting fucking treated like a cunt all the time, so I wasn't really bothered if I got kicked out or not, do you know what I mean, for failing the drug test, so I was just popping.
Were they drug testing you at that point?
Yeah, get drug tests quite frequently in the military. So
Who drug test you for gear?
yeah, gear, fucking party drugs, cannabis, all sorts. Yeah, a lot of people get kicked out for drugs.
What, for steroids?
Not so much steroids, but people have been kicked out. I didn't get kicked out.
Did you get a drug test done while you were on them?
Eventually, yeah. 2 years later, after I took the D-balls, I took D-balls for like 4 weeks. Obviously gained quite a lot of weight in a short period of time. Went from being able to run to not being able to run.
Really?
Yeah.
With just the extra weight?
Yeah, like I went from like 82 to 92 kilo or something, and like my fucking calves were just fucking shot. Obviously, I didn't know what was fucking going on, and I had like lower back pumps. Fucking yeah, I was fucked.
What weight were you? You were 82 and you went to 92.
Yeah,
92 kilos.
yeah. I'll show you there's a photo. I'll show you a photo before the D-balls. Good times. But yeah, I ended up getting kicked out of my unit in Colchester.
For Steroids?
Nah. For speaking the truth.
For fucking being honest.
Yeah.
Was it about the door?
It was about everything. It was a build-up of things. Like, everything was just bottling up for ages. That's when I was, decided to join the Royal Marines.
Fucking hell, man.
It's crazy, isn't it?
You look sad.
I was sad.
You look sad and floppy.
I'm fat.
Just soft. You look like a fucking podgy.
Yeah. And then...
Fuck me, what a difference, man.
Yeah, that was when I come back from Kenya. I was like 82 kilo, and then I
What a difference, man.
started taking some D-bowls and that.
Good.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Yeah. That was when I got to my phase 2 training.
In decent shape.
Yeah. From that to that
Mm-hmm.
in 3 years.
Good arms and shoulders.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, no, decent. Fair play, mate.
But yeah,
It's the difference that's really impressive.
yeah,
Is where you were to where you got to.
yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Well, like when I started, I couldn't do fucking 10 push-ups.
Jesus.
Yeah,
You thought you'd have been able to bounce off that fucking belly of yours. The bouncy ball, the
Yeah.
fucking bounced up.
it's like a space hopper.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
what it's like, but round your fucking gut.
Yeah, but like it was funny because obviously people I went to school with and all that sort of shit. When I started like doing it, they couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Well, no wonder if they fucking looked at you like that. It was like, this guy's going to the fucking commanders. Like, good luck, mate. He's going to be the fucking cook.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you got to fucking cook the food.
Yeah.
Fat boy.
yeah.
You know?
But yeah,
It shows what was in you, though.
yeah. You
So
just had to.
what happened when you left the military? You spoke the truth. You want to dig into that, or you want to fucking...
So basically, I got into trouble quite a lot. Got into trouble quite a few times and all that sort of stuff, and that led me up to this one significant point. I was obviously getting fucked around all the time, being treated like a cunt.
Have you passed this fucking test yet?
No, I got messed around with all that sort of shit. So that's a different story in itself. So basically, I ended up getting kicked out in October of my unit. I was meant to go on that course in the January or the February. So the end of January that year. And what's it called? Before we went on Christmas leave, they was like, right, when you're back off Christmas leave, you're going to be on P Company. You're going to go on it, all that sort of stuff. I was like, sorry, pre-para it's called. So you're going to be on pre-para, which is like a 2-week beat-up course. You do 2 PT sessions a day. And basically there's only a certain amount of spots up in Catterick where they do the actual P Company course. So there's like 50 fucking vacancies, whereas the All Arms P Company is all arms. So you're getting people from the Navy, the fucking RAF, everywhere in the fucking thingy to do the attached arms P Company beat up course. So there's 150 people on this
You want
course.
to thin it down.
They got to thin it down. 50
Yeah.
people have got to go up the road.
Yeah.
So they're like to me, right, you're on it when you fucking get back from Christmas leave. I was like, all right, cool, okay. So gone on Christmas leave. Had a really shit time because all I've done is fucking run every single day. Fucking like didn't do anything like social. All my mates were like going out back home, having a good time and all that sort of stuff. I was sat with them drinking fucking blackcurrant fucking sodas and all that sort of shit because I was like proper focused. Being called a boring, like I'm there getting shit from the blokes in the army, and I'm coming home and I'm getting shit from my mates at home because they're like, "Oh, you're a boring cunt."
Couldn't have happened to a better guy, man.
Yeah,
Really, let's be
you're
honest.
like fucking drinking blackcurrant, so you're such a boring cunt. Bloody blah. Anyway,
It's grim though, isn't it? You're not getting any reprieve here.
yeah, it's sucking.
You're just getting it from both
Yeah, I
ends.
just get fucking shit, me, Geo. I really do. But
You can just see the shit sandwich either side.
yeah,
You stuck in the middle and just shit either end.
yeah, there's no winning. But anyways, come back off Christmas leave thinking, right, I'm going to go on this P Company course and absolutely smash it. Anyways, it's called an All Bat. The All Bats come out for the next fucking exercise that the regiment's going on. And we're going away to fucking Kenya for a fucking 12-week fucking exercise or however fucking long we was going there for.
How
What-
the fuck did you get to Kenya and not get a tan? How are you still ultra white? That picture was as fucking white as I've ever... It looks like Casper.
Yeah, I avoid the sun. had to
Yeah, I
avoid
fucking
the
can
sun.
see that.
Yeah. That's where I read the book, the Tony Robbins one.
But in the
Away from
shade, I
Sun.
take it.
Yeah. But anyways, come back off Christmas leave and the All Blacks come out for Kenya and my fucking name's on it. And I'm like, what is going on
So
there?
to explain what's happening in case anyone's missed that, you were supposed to go on this course, but then they've
Yeah.
came back and you've
Yeah.
went on to
Yeah, no, so I was getting to that.
you've been sent to Kenya instead of doing the course
Yeah.
that you've been leading up to.
Yeah.
So all this training, all this focus, you're getting shit for your mates, you're getting shit for not passing it.
Yeah.
The time's come, you finally like, right, it's ready, and then boom.
My name's on this fucking list, and
you're
I'm
getting
like, what the fuck's the crack here? Anyways, our troop sergeant's got us in the fucking gun park, and he's got this fucking list down. He's like, right, these lads are not going to Kenya. These lads are going on the fucking pre-para, all this sort of stuff. There's only like 4 of them. 4 of them was going on pre-para when it was meant to be
50.
like not 50 of us. Our thingy was only small, our troop, but there was meant to be more of us going on it. So they culled the numbers so they could fill their guns for going to Kenya and doing the exercise and all that sort of stuff. So I'd been doing all this training, all that sort of time. And like the thing is with the military is no matter where you go, you always start at the bottom, like anywhere. You always start at the bottom and work your way up.
Yeah.
So like I'd just done all my basic training, done all my phase 2, done this place. So like I'd had enough of just constantly being trained. I just wanted to fucking be left alone for a bit. Do you know what I mean? And then they've taken my name off of doing this thing because I was like, right, this is my time to get this done and like really fucking get on with my career and all that sort of stuff, because you can't go forward in your career in that department unless you'd passed P company. So it was like being stuck at a speed bump. Anyways, I've been fucking sent off to Kenya and I was absolutely fuming. And they were saying that they again, comes back to what I was saying about the bullshit that they feed you, is they were like, oh, Kenya's higher altitude and all this sort of stuff. You're going to get really fit. We're going to do loads of PT with the non-para trained over in Kenya because you'll fucking come back. Your red blood cells will be increased. You'll be extremely fit and you'll just breeze through pre-para.
Is that the truth?
No, it's just fucking bollocks.
Is Kenya at fucking sea level?
It's fucking bollocks. It was fucking bollocks.
It's fizzy shite.
Yeah. It was fucking bollocks. It was fucking bollocks.
I'm a fucking altitude guy. I'm like, what the fuck? Where the fuck did Kenya like sprout out the fucking the ocean and go to a mountain range?
Yeah, and they was like, right, you're gonna think. So we've all gone over to Kenya. Anyways, I find it hard enough in the fucking cold, let alone the heat. I'm there, albino as fuck, getting absolutely beasted.
Fucking Casper, the friendly ghost, has been put into what was the temperature over there?
Oh, fucking ridiculous. I couldn't give you a figure. All I know
Too
is
fucking hot.
Yeah. All I know is that at night I was fucking sleeping on a fucking dusty, shitty floor in the middle of a fucking desert somewhere in my pants. Roasting. Do you know what I mean?
Not ideal.
Not ideal. But yeah, and then anyways, even out there, they had this really cool, this is the best part about it, on our little camp that we had, they had this big fucking rusty metal shed, probably the size of the gym out there. Fucking awesome place. They had all these rusty dumbbells, all these rusty plates.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was like being a kid and driving past McDonald's. Do you know what I mean? Seeing the golden arches. And I was like, that's my fucking place there. Anyways, I started using it. And again, they started kicking me out of there. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, nah, you're going to get muscle bound. Don't be lifting weights, bloody, blah. And I was like, at this point, I was fucking losing my mind. It was doing my fucking head in. Anyways, I had this real shit time out in Kenya. Just got fucked around all the time again and all that sort of stuff. And then come back, and I started doing a bit of like, I was like, right, if they're not going to let me do my weight training, I'm going to get into a bit of functional fitness, a bit of functional weightlifting. I'm going to go and do a bit of CrossFit. So I started going to a CrossFit class, which was really gay.
That's extremely good.
Yeah.
Like, I liked how you tried to polish that up. Like, I found this weird cult where it's not quite weightlifting and it's not quite cardio, and I'm going to put a positive shine on that.
Yeah, a bit of an in-between.
Right. I thought you'd had enough of your close call getting groomed, and you go right to this place.
Yeah. And then anyways, comes to my second session at the fucking one evening, at this gym in Colchester of CrossFit, and we're doing these snatches. I've done this fucking snatch, and I fucking just dislocated my shoulder. I was like, what the fuck? So I'm there rolling around on the floor with this dislocated shoulder. Went to the fucking hospital and all that sort of shit. Got it put back in. Next day, went into work in thingy. And now, in the military, well, in that place, there's no such thing as going sick. You can't go sick. Your leg could be hanging off. Nah. Like, there's a real, like, thingy. Especially being non-para trained as well. They just think you're skiving or talking shit or bullshit or whatever. Anyways, I've gone in and I'm like, gone up to my sergeant. It's the same sergeant that put the 20s on and threw him around like he was...
Sergeant EZ Bar.
Yeah, Sergeant EZ Bar. Yeah. It went up to him and I was like, excuse me, Sergeant EZ Bar. I was like, I've had an injury last night at the CrossFit gym or whatever. I was like, I need to go sick. He's like, what you done? I was like, dislocate my shoulder. I said, I can't fucking lift it up. Look, I was like, it's fucked. And he's like, well, it looks fine to me. I'm like, it's not. I need to go sick. And then obviously being young, naive and all that sort of shit, I was like, I just thought to myself, I'm just going to have to go with this, because if I go through with getting it looked at and sorted out and all that sort of shit, it's going to just cause me fucking hassle here. More hassle than I already want. So I just sort of went with the flow and all that sort of shit. And then my name in that space of time got put on a surf trip about a fucking couple weeks later.
What's a surf trip? 2
weeks later. So it's classed as adventure training. And we were going to Newquay surfing.
What's the fucking hidden meaning behind this?
Basically, it's a piss up.
Right.
For thingy. But
in the military? Right.
But they bullshit it up to the chain of command to get funding for it. So it's like, oh, yeah, teamwork, leadership, personal skills, all this sort of shit. And, yeah, they do loads of different things. I went skiing once with them. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
But this surf trip, I didn't want to go on it, and my name got put on it and all that sort of stuff. And I've gone up to Sergeant EZ Bar a couple of weeks later after not going sick. I'm like, look, I can't go on this surf trip. My shoulder's fucked. He's like, I don't care. Your name's on it. You're going. I was like, look, I come to you the other week. My shoulder's fucked. I need to go get it seen to and all this sort of stuff. He's like, you're going on it. I don't care what you say. You're going on it. Your name's on it. Stop creating me problems. So I'm like, right, whatever. Gone on this surfing trip, and I remember there was this officer called Mr. Povey.
Mr. what?
Mr. Povey.
Mr. Povey.
Mr. Povey. He was actually a real sound guy, to be fair. Yeah. And I was like, look, he was a new officer, so he was like pretty much, I think, straight out of Sandhurst, which is the training establishment for young officers and all that sort of stuff. I might be a bit incorrect. He might have been there for a couple of months before or not, but to my knowledge, he was there for a bit of time. And I've gone up to Mr. Pope and I was like, excuse me, sir. I was like, I had an injury a couple of weeks ago. I fucked my shoulder. I was like, I ain't going to be able to do this surfing. He was like, look, I understand you've sort of fucked yourself. He's like, just do what you can do and whatever. So I spent a week flopping around on this fucking surfboard, just having a fucking shit time again. And then every night, these lads were going out on the piss, fucking just getting pissed up, being twats and all that sort of stuff. And I wasn't drinking because it wasn't my fucking thing. And this one night, I was staying in a room with one of my mates called Smith. And funnily enough, it was two Scottish lads in the other room called Simo and Scobie. And Scobie was a bit of a hand grenade on the piss. He was pretty rogue. And he'd passed this P Company course, so he thought he was fucking wicked.
Big ticket.
Yeah.
He thought it was big ticket.
Yeah.
And he was pished.
Yeah. And anyways.
Oh, I fucking can feel the Loki rising up. The god of mischief has fucking entered the chat.
And anyways, I can't remember what Simo and Smith had to do the next day, but for some reason, Simo had put all of my belongings from my room that Smith had into there. into this room with Scobie. And anyways, I don't know why he done it. Move stuff. Well, I do know because he was a hand grenade. But anyways, bearing in mind these lads are like, at the time I'm 20 and these lads are like 26, 27. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like,
come on, lads. Fucking hell.
Well, no, thinking back to it now, I'm like, what fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't do that to some fucking 20-year-old.
What did they do?
They just moved my stuff. They moved me out of my room into this room with this fucking hand grenade.
Oh, so they're wanting you to be in beside him because he's a fucking live wire.
Yeah. And anyways, I'm quite a chill guy. But anyways, fucking, I'm in this room, fucking zipped up in my sleeping bag, chilling. This Scobie's come back in, pissed up. Bearing in mind, I've just been working with this lad for like 12 weeks or whatever out in Kenya. We were on the same gun detachment. And when you're on your gun detachment, you stay in your gun detachments. You don't really mingle because once you're set up in a gun position, that's you. You don't like walk around and chat and all that sort of stuff. Like you
So you and him are in a team?
Yeah, we're in a team. Right. So in my head, I'm thinking we're a team.
Tight.
And even afterwards,
he's pissed.
Yeah,
right, all bets are off.
Yeah. So anyway, he's come into my room pissed up, and he started giving me a load of fucking grief. And I'm just there, zipped up in my sleeping bag, trying to go sleep. And he's led over me, all pissed up, fucking in my face, saying, "You think you're hard because you're a big lad," and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, "Mate, I really don't." I was like, "Look, I'm just trying to go to sleep. Please leave me alone." And he's like fucking pressing his forehead against my nose and all that sort of stuff. And obviously he's got that fucking, he's done the jumps course and all that sort of shit, got his wings, all that sort of stuff. And I'm there fucking absolutely like getting really pissed off. And I've unzipped my sleeping bag. I've got out my sleeping bag. I'm like, "Look, Scobie," I was like, "I don't want any problems. I like you." I was like, "Let's just fucking go to bed." And he wasn't having any of it. And he's like, "Oh, you think you're all that and all this sort of stuff because you're into your gym and all this shit." I was like, "Mate, I really don't." I was like, "I really don't." I was like, "I don't think I'm anything. I'm just want to go to sleep." Gone to the fucking, what's it called? I'm banging on the door to Jason and Smith and Simo. Hey, Simo. I'm like, let me back in this room. I was like, "You move all my stuff out. Stop being a fucking dick. Let me back in." And I could hear them both laughing. And I'm like, "You fucking pair of cunts." And they weren't fucking saying anything back. I could just hear them giggling.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck's sake. So I've gone back into my room, zipped myself up. Anyway, this Scobie's fucking keeps hammering me. It's all very, because it all happened quite fast, it's like a bit fucking vague. But he's hammering me, fucking giving me loads of grief. And I've got out my sleeping bag and I've stood up and I'm like, right, I've had enough of this. So I'm like, "What's your problem then, mate?" Like, it's getting a bit heated, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, one of the bosses come in, a bloke called Bombardier Jackson. Again, somebody who's meant to be in a position of power and a position of rank and a position of authority, opens the door. It's like, "What's all this shouting? What's going on in here?" I'm like, "Look, your man here is being a fucking bellend. He's giving me grief. I'm just trying to go sleep. But don't want any trouble, don't want any problems, all that sort of stuff." And he's like looked at the situation and he's just gone, "It's really not my problem." And just shut the door and fucking thingied. Anyways, this Scobie's like fucking, again, went to push his fucking head on my nose. And then I've just lost the plot. I remember I just fucking cracked him with a left and then a right and just fucking folded him like a fucking cheap suit. Just boom, sparkled on the floor. I've gone to the next room, banged on my door and I'm like, "Here, Simo Smith." I was like, "Come on, please let me back in here." I was like, I'm begging you." I was like, "I've had enough of this shit." And I could hear him laughing again. Anyways, I've walked back into my room to get back into my sleeping bag. This Scobie's just got up, leant back and just fucking gave me this great fucking headbutt. Bust my nose, broke my nose. And that was it. I just fucking saw red. And next thing I know, fucking everybody was piling into the room trying to drag me off of him. And then obviously went back to camp and all that sort of stuff. On the Monday, we was on that. Remember I was saying about the parades that we do every morning? Mm-hmm. We was on that. And again, there's that diehard airborne warrant officer. Like,
Is this a guy maroon? You cut him.
yeah, the maroon machine. Yeah, he was from Manchester, big stocky man, and he's fucking real swagger. He used to proper swagger about. Anyway, he's swaggered about, and he was like, shouted Scobie's name. He's like, Gunner Scobie. He's like, did you have a good surf trip? Did you? And he's Gunner Scobie's gone, yes sir, yeah, it was good, thank you. He goes, what happened to your eye? And his eye's all fucking swollen and shit. He's like, oh, a surfboard hit me whilst I was out surfing, sir. He's like, oh, really? He goes, Gunner Cook, did you have a good surf trip? It's like, yeah, sir, it was good, thank you. Bearing in mind, I fucking broke my hand and it's fucking fucked, as well as my fucking shoulder. And yeah, sir, it's good. He's like, come see my office afterwards. I was like, all right. The parades fell out and I've gone up to this fucking officer's room. I knew what it was going to be for. And I've like, you got to march up to the door and slam your tabs in, sir. And you're like, sir, I'm 30275160, Gunner Cook, reporting for whatever. Done all that shit. And he's like, come in. He goes, what the fuck do you think you're doing? I was like, what do you mean, sir? He goes, do you think that's a good look, do you? I was like, what do you mean a good look, sir? He's like, well, you've just built in one of the paratrain members of the battery. I was like, right. He's like, do you think that's appropriate? I was like, well, I didn't instigate it. I was like,
did you just go, yes? Look, I'm dead now. Yes, it was.
yeah. And he was like, I was like, do you think that's appropriate thing to do and all that sort of stuff? I was like, I didn't instigate it, sir. And he goes, what the fuck do you think you're doing? He goes, how's that going to look to like the rest of the non-paratrain lads and all that sort of stuff? He goes, that sort of thing doesn't fly here and all this sort of stuff. Basically, I got punished, lost my weekends, got a load of like working weekends and things like that. And then, yeah. And then all these things are just building up. And obviously then, at that point, after that happened, I was going to that CrossFit gym, wasn't I, as my outlet. Mm-hmm. And a new officer turned up called Fitzy. And this guy, Fitzy, was real sound, actually. Real good bloke. And for some reason, he started training at the same time as me. And he'd obviously just turned up. He'd been on like a 2.5 year post and whatever. We're training at the same time. I used to say all right to him in the mornings and things like that, just like small talk, because he didn't know I was in his regiment at first, because I'd just be in there in my fucking Adidas original shorts and a fucking T-shirt or whatever. And then a few weeks went by and all that sort of stuff, and then obviously started noticing me more and more, then realised that I was actually in his unit. Anyways, he was then up in the top corridor where all these officers were singing my praises, like, this Cook, he's a standout bloke. He's like in there smashing his gym, his training. He's like real fucking sound, this, that, and the other. And then fucking, what's it called? One day he comes in and he's gone, look, Gunner Cook, I'm really sorry to fucking say this to you, but he's like, you can't be training in here. You can't.
The CrossFit gym?
Yeah.
And was this a military gym?
Yeah, it was a military gym, but it was used for all units that were on that camp.
Why were you excommunicado in there?
What do you mean?
Why were you excommunicated for the gym?
Because I'd not passed this course, Company, because I got kicked out of our regimental one that was just specifically for our unit. And then this was for all units, for all members of staff that was on this camp. I then got fucking shunned from that one. And then that's what like sort of was like the breaking point for me. I was like, fuck this. And then we had this open forum, which wasn't open. So it was like... It was full of...
Fucking politics, man. It's so filthy, isn't it?
Yeah, it was full of gunners, Lance Jacks and bombardiers. So all you like your non-commissioned officers types in there that all lived in the accommodation. And it was with our battery sergeant major and our battery captain. And we're in there. People are like, oh, the cookhouse is shit, the food's shit, all this sort of stuff, the accommodations crap, this, that, and the other. That went on for about an hour and a half. And I remember the diehard airborne fucking Maroon boy. He was like, fucking, right, is that everything? That's all of you have got to say. The accommodation shit and the cookhouse and food shit. He's like, at the end of the day, lads, he's like, we're all in an establishment where we're fucking trained to kill people. He goes, if you ain't got the fucking balls to say how you feel or say something that you want to say in this room where it's safe, how the fuck are you meant to pull the trigger on an enemy and fucking on operations and all that sort of stuff? And then as soon as he said that, I thought, he's so fucking right. So I've like kicked my chair back, stood up. I was like, yeah, so I've got something to say to you. He's like, what's that going to cook? I said, sir, I said, this regiment is absolutely, completely and utterly fucking backwards. I go, the fucking leadership that's being displayed in this fucking room from people that are meant to be fucking leaders of men, I said, it's fucking pathetic. I said, I said to him, like, I understand that P Company is a course that requires cardiovascular fitness to obviously pass and all that sort of stuff. I said, I'm not stupid, I understand that. I said, but I think it's absolutely ridiculous how that can't be incorporated with weight training and strength and conditioning training alongside that. I said, it's completely backwards that you're kicking, like, you've got members of staff here that like are kicking me out the gym and all that sort of stuff. Basically, I've just fucking, all this shit that's been going on for fucking months and months and months just bottled up. And then the cap fucking burst off and I've just fucking gone in both barrels and just fucking absolutely went fucking gun-ho in there. And the room just went quiet. Like, a whole room went quiet. And then he's just looking at me like he couldn't believe what I was fucking saying. And I've sat back down and he said nothing. He goes, right, that's the end of this open forum. He goes, thanks for coming, meet at the gun park at whatever time. Gone out that room. And then I remember all these lads that had been giving me shit, like, for months and months and months, checked me like a cunt and all that sort of stuff. They all come up to me and was like, mate, I can't believe you've just said that. It was like, that's serious balls. Basically, I said how everybody was feeling. I was like the voice that actually stood up and actually said something, said what everybody was thinking. And I was like, well, I was just saying how I felt. Why would I not say how I feel? Why would I not stand up for what I believe in? Do you know what I mean? Like, why should we get fucking pushed around and shoved around and made to feel like fucking cunts and stuff? And they was like, you're so right and all this sort of stuff. And then went into work the next day and got called into Sergeant Easy Bar's office. And he's like, right, Sergeant Major Dean Daly, this is the Manchester bloke. He's like, Sergeant Major Dean Daly wants to see you. I was like, all right, cool. So I obviously didn't say that. I was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And then went up to see Sergeant Major Dean Daly, done all that thing, marched up to his door, slammed my tabs in, give him my service number, all that sort of shit. And he's like, what do you think you're doing? I was like, what do you mean, sir? He's like, what do you think you're doing in an open forum like that, speaking like that? I goes, well, it's an open forum, isn't it, sir? The whole point of it is to be open. He's like, you're nothing but an absolute disgrace to this regiment. He's like, you don't deserve to wear the maroon machine, this, that, and the other. And he's like, look, by the end of the week, you're not going to be in this regiment. You're going to be in 3-4 battery in Larkhill. And I was like, right then. So that was that. And I got kicked out their unit, sent to a place called 3-4 battery, which was made up of like people from all over the artillery that were a bit like, it's got a bit of a bad reputation for it being a bit of like an ASBO sort of unit, because the people there are quite like against the grain, quite rogue and all that sort of stuff. And I ended up having the best like 2.5 years of my life.
And what, at this point, you just riding out the military like your required time?
Yeah, well, I thought to myself, well, I was gonna go to this 3-4 battery, and I was pushing. I'm still mates with him now. There was an officer who was our troop commander, Tobias Davies. He was our TC there, and I got on really well with him. He got me into like playing rugby and all that sort of shit. And like even then in Colchester, you wasn't allowed to do any sports or anything like that. There was no like extra like curriculum activities that you were allowed to do and shit. And anyways, got in with him, and I was like, right, I want to get on that commando course and do the all arms commando course. And then he was like, yeah, that'll be awesome. He was like really pushing me for it, like trying to get me on it. Done all that he could to fucking get me on it. And unfortunately, it kept getting overridden by the battery commander down there. Because obviously short-staffed. And that establishment was a different establishment. It wasn't like used as a normal unit would be. It was used because it was at the artillery headquarters. It'd be like being used as like, you were basically like, we were dogs' bodies for all the courses coming through, all the training courses, because like the fire support teams would need to learn how to call in fires. So we'd just be operating the guns every week pretty much. It was a bit of a shit posting because you're constantly out on exercise, but you got really good at your job and all that sort of stuff. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to get me on the commando course and get that sort of done. And then like time was ticking, and at this point I got up to my 3-year point. I was getting like there, I was allowed to go to the gym and get into my weight training and that. And at that point I was like getting really big into it and all that sort of stuff. And I was getting up to my like 3-year point, to the point where I could then leave the military if I wanted to. I could hand in my notice and then do an extra year and then get out into the real world. And I was weighing it up. I was like, well, if I stay in here, I'll go to a new unit, and then again I'll have to start from the bottom. And there was nowhere else I really wanted to go.
So are you thinking about a way to get kicked out?
Nah.
No?
Nah, not at this point. Nah. I was when I was in Colchester and I was taking the D-bowls.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
D-bowls will help that.
yeah, I was thinking of a way to get kicked out then. But at this point I was like...
This is afterwards. You're not,
yeah, this is afterwards.
Yeah.
This is like... I was at a crossroad.
Yep.
Do I stay in the military and pursue a career in the military, or do I like go this way and get out and pursue...
What was the deciding factor for you?
It was starting from the beginning again, going somewhere else, starting somewhere new, and all that.
You're going to be doing that outside.
Yeah, but I thought at least
you're in charge.
At least I'm in charge, and I can control the direction. Whereas in here, it's not about what you need; it's about what the army needs.
So what did you do? How did you get from, like, so you do you need to have a year's notice?
Yeah.
Did you run out your year?
Yeah.
And then what happened when you're like sort of come to the end of your career?
So that in that last year, that's when COVID happened.
Right.
So, obviously I was getting big into my gym and all that sort of stuff, and I was playing rugby in Larkhill, and I just had a big shoulder injury happen. I was playing rugby for our fucking sevens team or whatever, the tens team. I had again dislocated my shoulder really badly, obviously due to neglecting my shoulder issue that happened back before I went on the surfing trip. I had a big fucking dislocation, like ripped up my tendons, all that sort of stuff. I had an operation, and then for years, that's what I grew up doing from like 12 to 21, playing rugby. Loved playing rugby. Obviously, that's what got me really big into my weight training and all that sort of stuff. And that was the deciding point for me, where I was like, right, I'm going to pursue this thing that I've always wanted to pursue, which is bodybuilding. And that's when I sort of decided that at that 3-year point. And I was like, I've achieved everything that I wanted to achieve to have a life outside of the army. I've got myself a partner. I've got myself a flat. Like, it's all sort of coming together. All I've got to do now is like just take that leap. And then come to March 2021, it was like, boom, going in lockdown, wasn't it? Was it the end of March?
It was March 2020.
Yeah, March 2020. Ended up fucking getting put in lockdown, and I was going to do all the close protection courses and all that sort of stuff, go into the private security industry, and obviously all them courses got cancelled because obviously they had the physical intervention part and all that sort of shit, and you had to wear the masks and all that sort of crap. So that was scrapped. I was like, right, what can I do? I'm going to do PTing. So started doing a bit of like, I spent like $1,000 on doing that level 2 PT qualification. I've got my laptop out, paid for it, started doing it, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is this fucking bollocks? I'm like, what is this shit? And then I thought, fuck it, I'll come back and do it after I've had a chat with the manager down at our big local gym called Winners 2000. The same bloke was in charge managing it that used to PT me back when I was 17, that I said about 17, 18. Anyways, went back to him, had a chat with him. I'm like, right, if I leave the military and I become a PT, what's the sort of crack? How does it work here? And he's like, right, you got to pay a month, £300 a month rent to be a PT here. I was like, £300? That's quite a lot. I was like, am I allowed members, like, am I able to get people from whoever coming in PTing here? He's like, no, every bloke that or person that comes and has a PT session with you must have a membership with our gym. I was like, right, so not only do I have to like get my own clientele, I also have to be a salesman for your gym. Do you know what I mean? And then also pay you £300 rent. And in my head, I'm thinking, what am I getting out of this deal?
Yep.
I'm just getting a facility. And then I'm like, went away, I'm in an iron about it, gone back to my army camp, doing the fucking online PT course, and it's like asking me all these fucking shitty questions. And it's like, this person of this ethnic background's come into the gym and he's got a fucking issue with this fucking treadmill, this fucking bolt's fucking not working. How are you going to fix it? Do you know what I mean? It's just generic fucking bullshit, woke fucking shit. And I was just thinking to myself, I ain't doing this. I ain't doing this. I was like, my response would be, I treat him like a fucking human being, like I would anybody else. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
I treat him like a fucking human being, like anybody else. Treat him with respect, and I'd solve his problem to the best of my ability. And if it wasn't to the best of my ability, and I couldn't solve it, I'd then seek my fucking manager. Do you know what I mean? Simple as that. Not some fucking gay fucking woke shit.
Woke fucking,
just this shit.
Diversity and inclusion.
Yeah. Like, just treat him like a human being. But that's what tipped me over the edge for not doing the PTing sort of thing. So I was like, the time was getting closer and closer to leaving the military. I'm like, fucking hell, what am I going to do? And then my brother-in-law offered me a job at his carpentry firm, because he was the foreman for a carpentry firm called Eclipse Carpenters and Construction and Painting. And he was like, look, you could come do a job labouring. He's like, be like £10 an hour or whatever. He goes, you'll have a flatbed lorry, fucking you'll go around collecting drops and all this sort of stuff. He's like, I'll put you in touch with the boss if you want. You can get in doing that sort of thing. I was like, don't really have much fucking choices here. I was like, right, I'll do it. Started doing that, and then the military give you like 30 days to go and do courses and things like that. So in that sort of time, I would have done my like close protection stuff and all those sort of courses, but obviously COVID happened and I couldn't do all that sort of shit. And then what's it called? March 2021 was when I left. That's when I left, and then obviously 2020 is when COVID happened, wasn't it?
Yep.
And then fucking, I was meant to do that, and then the boss of this carpentry company was like to me, right? He's like, look, you don't need to go and do these courses and all that sort of stuff. He's like, look, come work for me, come work for me. I'll look after you. I'll put you through all your courses and all this sort of stuff, like selling me this fucking dream and all this sort of shit. Like, I'll put you through all your courses and all that sort of stuff. He's like, look, I'll pay you cash in hand for your first month. There's obviously you're leaving the military and all that sort of stuff, and you're obviously being paid from the military for that time to go and do courses and all that sort of thing. He's like, I'll pay you cash in hand for your first month or whatever, and then I'll get you on the books and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, right, okay. So I've left the military, started working with him, and I was like, I still remember it now. I worked 187 hours in that 30-day period that I was being paid cash with him, and I took back like fucking £1,270 of that money, and he fucking pocketed the rest of the cash, and I just thought, you're a fucking piece of shit. And yeah, I was walking around on site one day after that happened, and don't know, I was carrying these fucking bits of timber. We were working on a fucking school in Torquay called Barton Hill. We was building this fucking school. I was working on that, and then I had this thought in my head, I'm going to start a brand called Heavy Duty Gymwear.
Carrying timber.
Carrying timber. I was like...
Where did that come from?
So back when I was in the army and all that sort of stuff, and I was going through all them shitty times, I was into, like, obviously my reading, like I said. I've always been big into the bodybuilding scene and all that sort of stuff whilst doing all these other extra curriculum activities. Like, I always used to read the Dorian Yates autobiographies when, like, so a lot of the lads, when we used to go out on the range for the day at this place in Larkhill in Wiltshire, they'd take their phones, they'd just be sat there looking at Instagram all day, and all they'd see all these people on holiday and all this sort of fucking shit, and like all they'd do is fucking sit there smoking ciggies, moaning like fuck, like, oh, this is fucking shit. It's shit being here. It's being shit, fucking being wet, cold, all this sort of shit. He's like, oh, it's so fucking shit. But I guess that's everyone everywhere now. But at that time, that's what it was. And I was like, I don't want to be doing that shit. So I'd leave my phone on camp, and then I'd just take a book out, and I was like reading the Dorian Yates fucking autobiographies, all that sort of stuff. I'd be like reading the like Arnold Schwarzenegger encyclopedia to bodybuilding, things like that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a fucking big book.
Yeah, it's fucking massive.
It's a chunky old book. You fucking do bicep curls with it.
Yeah. I used to fucking read all those sort of books and all that sort of stuff. And like I used to prep my meals, have my chicken and rice, take all that stuff out with me. And yeah, it's just something that I've just been attracted to and done without thinking about it. And
so where did the carrying fucking timber, and then boom, it just drops into your mind?
Yeah, Heavy Duty Gymwear.
And what was your, like, for people that don't know what Heavy Duty Gymwear represents, how would you describe it? Because it's definitely got its niche.
It's for just people that are just no bullshit, work fucking hard, that want to become the strongest version of themselves, like regardless of circumstances. So regardless of whatever circumstance you might see yourself in, it might be, take Adam for example. He's just smashed his toe to absolute fucking bits. Like, he's fucking walking around like fucking John Wayne, but he's not made an excuse for it. He's in the gym. He's fucking getting it done. He's becoming the best fucking person that he can be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, again, if you look back at Adam, good example. On his prep, he had 2 surgeries. Did he find an excuse? Most people would have just been like, nah, fuck that. I ain't stepping on stage after having 2 fucking surgeries.
Yeah. What
did he do? He fucking won his fucking pro card.
You got it done?
Yeah, like Jack Gunn, prime example. Again, he's just fucking absolutely busted his knee, had a fucking massive fucking knee reconstruction. Fucking bust.
That's a fucking awful injury, that.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. It was like career ending, life changing.
Yeah.
He's not made an excuse. He's still getting it done. He's back walking on a treadmill, back doing light weights.
Yeah.
He's not found an excuse to rack it all off and give up on what he fucking believes in. He's staying true to what he believes in and true to himself. Like Gaz Inc., he's recently had a child. He's not let that get in the way. He's not let that fucking affect his like career or his bodybuilding or anything like that. he's adapted and overcome.
When you look at the style of the heavy duty gymwear, it's got a style. It's a style from the past.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to put aside your fucking seriously homosexual fucking vest tuck into your baggies, which is highly, highly suspicious, Ollie. Extremely suspicious. Did you feel bent when you done that?
Adam raised a good point. He says that on one of these podcasts you wore a gazzing pink vest, and he's pretty sure that was tucked in.
No, it wasn't. It was just fucking that wee. It wasn't tucked in. No, definitely wasn't tucked in. No chance. No danger. It was too small.
No, I didn't feel that homo.
You fucking looked it.
Thanks.
You looked homo. You looked like a guy that was fucking happy being alongside big, juiced up men, big, tattooed, juiced up guys, and was in his fucking glory.
Element.
And you wanted to tuck your shit right in. You wanted to tuck it in. And it's fucking suspect, man. Like, and no harm to you. Like, if you've got fucking...
I know why you're giving me this.
If you've got gay tendencies, it's all right.
I know why you're giving... I know why you're giving me this grief.
Go on then.
It's because Ricardo's always giving you grief in it for wearing that spandex stuff whilst you're cycling.
And I don't mind.
And now you've got a victim sat in front of you. You're feeling like, oh, I'll give him some shit for tucking his stuff in.
But it's the vest. It's like a progression on the sex offender register. It's like, you know, how you escalate up.
It's like the one that fucking Savile used to wear underneath his fucking jumpsuit.
Aye, it's definitely, there's fucking suspicion in there. Like, and it might be unwarranted, right, but it deserves a look.
Thanks.
And anyone that's fucking doing that are attracted to certain things. And there might just be people, you might just be getting caught up with it. It might look good and it feel good, but it's fucking suspect, man. Deeply suspect. But how did you, like, you were in that era, so like, how did you pick that style of clothing from an era that you weren't involved in?
So I just feel like, so when I was going to the gym and into my bodybuilding and training and all that sort of stuff.
For people that don't know, like, the heavy duty gymwear is oversized clothes. Like, it's an oversized, big look, and it came from like the 90s when guys would, in the 90s, guys were getting massive. And the idea was they would have these oversized jerseys, these big baggy pants. They had fucking bum bags as well, which again is a fucking suspicious thing in its own, right? But they had this look.
Yeah.
Because they were fucking huge, huge dudes. And it was something like that. It was something would draw your eye to a fucking absolutely massive guy with this oversized clothes on, because it would give you the illusion that you didn't know how, you knew this fucker was big, but you didn't know how big because it was sort of getting covered up. Yeah. And it added this mystique. And this is what, like, the heavy duty gymwear sort of bringing back, is this, like, this look that was from a bygone era. Yeah. And it's got the modern twist to this old sort of traditional style. Yeah. And it's like a mixture of them both. And I know, like, I don't remember or recall anybody tucking their shit in, although they did wear spandex. Like, see some of the original 90s videos and you see them with fucking spandex.
Yeah,
what's going on here, man?
Yeah. I can't remember. I think there's one of, like, Sean Ray
doing the Kevin Levrone, and they've got the stripy spandex. What in the fucking gay for pay scene was like, there's some producer somewhere that's got that's just going to be his fantasy.
Yeah, see, that's not the thing, like
the spandex,
like that sort of side of the bodybuilding, like that whole Hollywood. Like, there's that whole glitz and glamour.
It was, you know what it was like? It was like, you know, the old fashioned kind of like fucking aerobic videos. Yeah. It was it must have been like the tail end of that. Yeah. And they thought, oh, well, let's jazz up some fucking high tempo music, you know, tight clothes, get them oiled. And the guys were fucking obviously getting paid to do it, but it was not the feel, it wasn't the vibe.
Yeah. I was more into like the Dorian Yates, the fucking Marcus Rule, like Amph Bales, like that hardcore, that gritty, fucking proper man shit. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
None of them tucked their shit in though, did they?
They probably didn't, no.
So it's fucking went awry somewhere here. Something's fucking, I think you're wanting beasted. Like, you're lucky, you're back on the range. You're like, somebody give me shit. Yeah. Somebody send me up to that flagpole.
It's getting boring. But yeah. Yeah.
So when did you start it? When did you start the brand?
2021.
2021.
21, yeah.
What would you say to anybody that's starting a brand? Like, what tips would you give? Like, what's the do's and don'ts? What have you learned from doing it?
I've learned quite a lot, actually. We'll come back to this one because there's a bit that you might want to put in.
I can go for it, light it up.
Yeah, there's a bit you might want to edit in.
Hit me with it.
Yeah, so when I was doing the heavy duty, and the idea popped into my head, I actually had a bit of self-doubt, and I didn't originally actually go through with doing heavy duty. The brand actually started off as On the Tools Gymwear, and I was marketing it like my thought process for it was marketing to people that were hard-working people, tradesmen, people that are working the fucking 9 to fucking 5 or fucking working fucking blue-collar jobs and all that sort of stuff that are like grafting fucking hard, that are providing for families, the people that fucking make the world go round.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I wanted to create a brand that fitted that sort of person. And my original idea was the heavy duty, but I just thought to myself, as obviously Mike Mensa had a bit of a heavy duty clothing thing going on in the 80s, 90s, it might be a bit of a, like, I don't know if it was like, I wasn't clued up on all the legalities of things and all this sort of shit. So I was like, fuck it, right. I'm just going to do this On the Tools Gymwear and see where it fucking takes me. So I've started On the Tools Gymwear, started selling a few bits. I used the cash that bloke that fucking stole some from, I used that to get it started. I used 600 quid of it, got a load of stock. The On the Tools stuff, I sold to friends that were in the army, friends that were fucking from back home, and I managed to double my money. I've put an order in for a load more stuff, t-shirts and sweatshirts. And as I've done that, I've had a message through from this Facebook page called On the Tools TV, which is like a On the Tools banter sort of page. I've had a message from one of the directors of that company saying, look, buddy, he's like, I appreciate what you're doing. I respect it. Obviously, I can see there's no sort of like intent with what you've done here. He's like, but you're piggybacking off of our slogan. He goes, On the Tools is actually phrase marked and registered on company's house and all this sort of shit. He's like, you legally can't use that term or whatever.
Do you not tell him to take a fuck to himself?
Nah,
no,
I didn't. So I've read that and I was like, fuck. I was like, what the fuck? So I've gone on that company's house, typed in the thing, and I've obviously seen that his name is actually a part of that. And I'm like, oh, he's not actually chatting shit. This is a genuine thing. And then I was like, right, messaged my guy that was supplying my clothing, manufacturing it, because it was actually started off as a mate in the army. He had a clothing print or a clothing printing brand called Carl Brooks. That was his little side hustle. So he used to sort me out really good prices and all that sort of stuff for getting started in that. Messaged him. He's like, mate, I was literally just about to start printing your next load of stuff. He goes, I'll wait. And I'm like, right, good. And then I was like, right, heavy duty it is.
That is.
Yeah.
So you've just remind me that you've been done over with this guy. So if people don't know the maths, he was supposed to pay 1870 because it was a tenner an hour.
Yeah. So I worked 187 hours.
You were supposed to get 1870, and he's fucking stiffed you for that.
I was getting £10 an hour.
Yeah.
So I was meant to get 1,800.
As he gave you the usual shite that it's tax, national insurance, all that bollocks. He's just fucking kept it.
Yeah. And
then you've then took that money, doubled your money, you started this brand. This guy, he's obviously not clued up in the copyright infringement, that you can't copyright fucking all these things that he thinks you can. Leaned on you, you've been wet behind the ears, went, okay.
Yeah.
And then you went back to the original heavy duty.
Yeah, and then I went on to...
which was from where you were carrying the wood in this yard.
Yeah.
And it's went boom, and then you've went and done this fucking roundabout trip.
No, so I was carrying the wood before.
Yes, so you were carrying the wood before, but you then had doubt and then you started
this.
on the tools gymwear. Then this guy's messaged you, and then you went back to the original idea, which was heavy duty gymwear.
Yeah. And then I've had £4,000 worth of savings in a little cash ISA that I'd saved up from my time in the military. And I fucking drew it all out and just thought, fuck it, threw it all at it. Yeah, rest is history.
That was all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
What would you say to people that are starting a clothing brand? It's fucking hard going.
Oh, it's fucking really hard.
It's hard going, man.
It's fucking the hardest thing I've ever
Your
had.
videos are good because you're videoing like the fucking behind the scenes. It's not like the glitz and the glam and the flashy like fucking media. Let me show you real. It's like you in a back room, fucking stock, like everything piled up.
Yeah,
Like the real,
yeah.
grit.
I'd want to remember what I was saying earlier. I wanted it to be true and authentic to it. Well, when I look at somebody, I want them to be true and authentic to who they are, and that's.
But you're surprisingly like happier than what I detect from your videos. Like you always look like you fucking licked piss off a stingy nettle, and you're like, yeah, meta's shit. It's fucked us. This is the only type of reel that works.
Yeah, because
you cunts seem to like this. It's like, man, how fucking bad a day is Ollie having today? And it's amusing in that sense because it's funny. But I detect that you're actually a much more optimistic than you really came across the reels.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Yeah, I'm massively optimistic and a quite positive person. But yeah, I don't know. Some days you have a good day, some days you have a bad day.
Pussy shit, man. It's weak shit. It's weak talk, man. That's fucking fag chat right there. Real men fucking smash today.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
Yeah. No, you can
be the fucking guy.
Yeah, well, I'll still smash today. But I'll just
sit and bring in your pity party here, boy.
Yeah, I'll fucking smash today just pissed off.
Well, that's all right.
Do you know what I mean?
As long as you're taking care of business.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to sit there and be like if I turn up and I'm a bit fucking.
I think I could detect the woe is me, I'm a victim, I've had a hard day, and you start to tuck in your vest. Don't you fucking go near that, boy. Right, fucking keep away from that shit.
Yeah, but.
You see, Ricardo's actually stopped tucking his shit in.
Was he a tucker in it?
Oh, massively. And it was always the Nike t-shirts. So this all started because he was tucking his shit in. I'm like, why are you fucking tucking your top in? He's like, because it looks better. I was like, to fucking who? And I'm just pulling his chain. Like, I don't really if that's your style, then fine. But he's fucking getting it, right? Because there's not a more deserving guy that's getting it. So I'm going to pick up anything.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you tucking it in? Is like you try to show guys your arse or something? What is the fucking fascination with this?
It's fucking cold up here, so I don't blame him.
He says it's because they get the draft up his back, but I'm like, you're talking shite, mate. I says because Ricardo never wears just one top. So he's always got another top under there also tucked in. I was like, you're a fucking double tucker. You're tucking two in. I says, don't come out with your fraud, your lies, your shite.
Yeah.
You've got another t-shirt tucked in there. You've been rumbled, mate. This is a fucking gay thing. This is a homosexual desire thing that you're letting seep out, and it's not being unnoticed. You want to kick shit at me with lycra and fucking cycling shorts, which has its own problems, by the way. It has its own issues. But you think I'm going to stand by and see a double tucker fucking tuck his shit in, so whoever it is that you want to see your bum can see your bum. I'm not going to let that fucking slide.
I like that. I do like that.
So what was it like going through the sort of beginnings and trials and tribulations of starting a business?
Fucking hell.
Because people think it's fucking easier than it really is.
Yeah, I just got it done.
Aye, but it's not as easy as people think, is it?
No, it's fucking not. It's like the thing is, like obviously I said at the start of the podcast, my mum, she worked from like 5 a.m. till fucking 11 at night. So for me, like, she's been my biggest motivation and my biggest inspiration for starting this, because like, she's just a fucking grafter. She's the biggest grafter I fucking know. And like, and I just thought to myself, if she's able to do it, then I'll be able to do it. Do you know what I mean? And like, she would wake up thinking about her restaurant and she'd go to sleep thinking about her restaurant. And that's why it was so good and as successful as it was, because she never took herself out the mixer. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. She was Beamer's Restaurant Brixham. Like, she is Beamer's Restaurant Brixham.
Is it she sold it now? Or?
She sold it a couple of years ago, and there's been some implications and all that sort of stuff, and she's getting it back because people are cunts, basically.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's that in short, but that's a story for a different...
That's just the fucking outcome.
Yeah, that's a story for a different podcast. But yeah. Yeah, so...
What would you say to people that are starting a business?
I'd say you've got to want it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like,
oh, yes.
Because, and I think, like, people, like, have asked me and stuff before, and I think it's like anything. You either got it or you ain't. Do you know what I mean?
Got what?
Just, like, got what it takes.
The desire.
Yeah. It's either in you or it's not. And, like, and I think back to, obviously, me pursuing the military and knowing what I know now. Obviously, there was something more to me in that establishment than what I realised. Because in there, I felt like I was underachieving massively.
Yep.
And, like, I think people in there had what it takes to be that one thing. And that's that. They will be that one thing forever. Do you know what I mean? Like, you see a lot of guys obviously do the military for 22 years, but then they leave the military, but they're still the military. Do you know what I mean?
It's because their identity's attached to it. This is the problem that they face.
They've created
their entire identity is built on this thing.
Yeah.
And then when it gets taken off them, they don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Because it's, I'm this, you know, the soldier, the sergeant, I am this, I am someone, I fit into this machine, and then it's taken away from you. You go, who are you? And they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because they're so connected and attached to an identity that's been created and constructed for them.
Yeah.
Rather than them constructing it themselves.
That's it. But yeah, I'd say it's one of them things. It's like, I'd say you either got it or you ain't.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say that's more of like of the mindset.
Yeah. It's true.
Of like, yeah, I think you've got to just be a bit tapped.
Tapped?
Yeah.
In what way?
Like, you just got to be a bit fucking, like, this is like a big, like, this might be a bit of an extreme version, but like Elon Musk, he's a bit tapped. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think he's an alien?
Fuck knows.
I think he's an alien.
Do you?
I think he's from Mars.
Fair enough.
I think he's from Mars. 100%.
Well, which one are you from then?
I don't know. Try to figure it out.
Uranus.
Probably for fucking Uranus with your tucked in shit, boy. That's how I can spot a fucking tucker in. I'm like, I'm not on their planet. I know what this means.
Yeah. But nah. But yeah, I think you just got to be wired up a certain way. And obviously, like,
do you think that the wiring's in its all and you need to activate it, or do you think that you're born with it?
I think you're born with it. I've always had it. Like, even in school. That's why I didn't fit in school.
Yeah.
That's why I was always like fucking looking out the window, just thinking about the future.
McDonald's, but they fucking look at their pictures, you can't. That's all you could think of it was golden arches.
Yeah, KFC.
KFC.
KFC's better than McDonald's.
Was KFC your thing?
Yeah, KFC's still my thing.
There was fucking something, I could tell there was something drawing your attention. I don't know which one it was.
KFC's still my thing.
Was that it?
But I just limit it. I try to.
Why are you not fucking massive?
What do you mean? Why
are you not fucking massive? You're in bodybuilding. How come you're fucking like huge as fuck? When are you going to get big?
I'm fucking trying.
Hey, come on, fuck. What's going on?
Maybe I need to move up to Scotland.
You need to come up here and get fucking absolutely gigantic.
Yeah.
She's got a good frame. But what are you doing? You're fucking dicking around. You should be big as fuck.
Yeah, I
think you want it.
Yeah. I need to fucking...
What's missing? What's missing in the mix for you?
Probably the amount of work. Like, I fucking...
it's hard to fit it all in.
Yeah. Like, obviously, I work in traffic management currently. I obviously still work full time as well as doing heavy duty. So I'm working like a 70-hour week, running a business, and then also fucking trying to fit the gym and bodybuilding in as well, and prep all my meals. And
how do you which bit's the hardest, the training or the nutrition to cram in?
The training.
I'd have went the other way. I think it's your nutrition. Because you're big enough that you must get some training in. If you were eating right, you would be bigger. Am I right?
Oh.
You're having a Greg's somewhere along with the
Nah.
KFC. Something's
I've heard Greg's is your thing.
Nah, no, Greg's is Ricardo's thing.
Is it?
Oh, Greg's he's fucking weak for a cheese and onion pasty.
I don't really like Greg's, to be honest with you.
I think it like harps back to like comfort. Like there's some sort of comfort, and that food must trigger a memory for him. But you want to see him, like I brought him in 3 of these things and he was just fucking weak at the knees. Like he was fucking weak.
You'll have to video it next time.
Oh my God. It was like a kid at Christmas.
Yeah.
I'd have been like taking you down to KFC to be like, oh my God, I'm here in my happy place.
Yeah. But
so you competed as well?
Yeah, I'd done a powerlifting competition and bodybuilding competition in the same year.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did you do?
Shit.
I'm fucking very honest. Fucking honesty, man. Well done.
Yeah.
Not what you were hoping for.
In the bodybuilding, no, I'd done really well at the powerlifting.
Right.
Yeah.
What was your numbers?
250 squat, 250 dead, 140 bench.
It's fucking, well, we beat bench is weak as fuck with other
Yeah, I know I'm shit at bench because of my fucking shoulders. Yeah. And then I also fucking tore my pec as well whilst fucking training for that shit.
Did you?
Yeah, so I didn't do any
it's
bench.
fucking hard though, like dieting down and trying to do powerlifting and like it's.
Yeah, so I done the powerlifting first.
Right.
And then I'd done the bodybuilding like 6 months after.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well,
Because you're a pretty tall guy, so like to get a squat that fucking decent is really good numbers. Like that's solid.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's good, man. That's really good.
Yeah. My gym owner, he's pretty old school. He's a really good male figure to be around as well. His name's Big Rob. He used to be training partners with Eddie Elwood.
Mm-hmm, I know.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, he used to be Eddie Elwood's training partner back in their 20s and all that sort of stuff. So,
is that the grey-haired, big, hairy fucking guy that was in the pods?
Yeah, he's been a big, massive,
big fucking werewolf.
Yeah, he's like no bullshit,
proper
hardcore, like right up my street, my sort of bloke. And yeah, he's kept me.
How big would you like to get? What's fucking ultimate Ollie look like?
I don't really know. I just wherever I go kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
That's the weakest goal I've ever had.
You don't like
It's
that?
thin as fuck, mate. That's
Why?
shite. I was expecting like rich piano, fucking absolutely massive.
Well, we'll just see what happens.
That's pish, man. That's weak. It's limp as fuck, man. That's so limp.
Why?
It's a fucking floppy.
Why?
That floppy goal. Just like, see what it takes me.
Well, just
It's the fucking traffic light management doesn't go well today. I'll just be shitter that it's like, no, you need to have a big fucking goal. 21 stone sauced out your fucking eyeballs, massive and, built like a fucking absolute unit.
yeah.
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 Who's your favourite? Who did you like look of? If you could have any look, who would you pick?
It's hard to say because
You don't want to upset Adam and his fucking 2000s bodybuilders
Nah,
because the 90s are the best.
no, I'm not really that 90s orientated. I like the Frank McGrath,
Yeah. Yep.
Evan Centopani.
Some fucking old classic looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those sort of shapes, those sort
Yeah.
of looks. I like them. Seth Rossi, Flex Lewis.
Mm-hmm. Flex Lewis a bit. He was definitely chunkier and really, really packed on a lot of muscle on his frame.
I like those sort of styles. I do like a Marcus Rule.
Do you?
The Freaks, yeah.
He's a fucking freak, wasn't he?
Yeah, Nasser Elson-Batty.
NASA was big.
Yeah.
He was fucking big. Wait, who would you pick? You had to pick one. What would be your... If you had to pick what your body would ultimately like to look like, who would you pick? If you could have any of them, which one are you having?
It's got to be Marcus Rule.
That's freak.
Yeah.
Oh, he was fucking something else. Me and George watch the videos, and it's funny because I've sort of been through that phase, and then it's sort of faded away, and now he's getting into bodybuilding. I can feel the old, the
And
old
as well,
memories coming.
he just didn't give a fuck. Like, he's there smoking ciggies before the fucking training sessions. Like, he didn't fucking care. Do you know what I
He
mean?
had a good energy about him.
Yeah,
like
he
see,
was-
like him and Kevin Levrone, they had a really positive, upbeat energy about
Yeah,
him.
he was just doing whatever it takes.
He was fucking huge as well.
He was doing whatever it took.
He had no neck. Like he's deltoids attached to his ears. He was so thick.
I do like Nasser El Sombati as well. For the whole, like, he just wasn't about all the bullshit, all the fucking glitz and glamour. He just purely loved bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't into all the fucking interviews after the shows and all that sort of shit.
He was fucking funny in that interview. You know the one I'm on about?
Yeah,
where he
yeah,
just fucking stonewalls the,
Yeah.
you know, the interview. It's just having
That's like Adam.
just having a shite time.
Yeah.
But Adam, like, you talk to Adam, and I imagine, like, Nasser would have been the same. Like, they're really engaging. Like, they're really, when you get them rolling, they're, like, really good. But I just imagine that it was just a case of, I'm not your fucking parrot here that's going to, you know, you come up here and I'm going to rhyme off the same stuff because you've...
And I think that's why Heavy Duty as a brand's a lot different from others and how most work. Because me, I hate authority. I hate being told what to do. I hate all that shit. So if I hate that, why am I going to push that on other people? And I think that's why, like, it's attracted the people that it's attracted, and I think that's why it works so well. Is like
A little bit of anarchy in there.
Yeah, it's a bit
Bit of fucking anarchist in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just
When I think of Heavy Duty Gymwear, the only track that I can hear is fucking like Prodigy Firestarter. That's all I can hear, man. It's fucking well done it.
yeah. But yeah, I think that's why it's attracted the athletes that it's attracted.
And they're good guys. It's a good core
Yeah,
group.
they're,
Like the
they're
guys
really,
are good.
really great guys. Really great guys. And I think, I don't know, there's just something quite positive about it.
Yeah. It's just raw and real.
Yeah.
I mean, despite you not being fucking as big as you should be, like you're.
All right, give me fucking 2 more years.
Come on, fuck 2 years, mate. Come on, 3 months. I want you to be Marcus, big fucking Das Freak, ruled out, just huge.
I've got a tall frame, haven't I? Not as tall as fucking Big Adam.
I mean, he's fucking.
no
Like, that's a fucking streaky pish. That's like a beanpole. That guy's the transformation he has had is fucking something else.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
I mean, I
isn't
give
it?
him that tight because I see his fucking lats attached to his fucking back molars and his teeth. Just love to fucking crank him up. But like looking at where he started, the amount of muscle he's packed on to get so competitive is fucking good.
Incredible.
I've never seen him big either. I've only ever seen Adam during prep.
Yeah.
You know, and he's the dedication and focus that he's got is bang on, and he's switched on upstairs. Like, see that, you know, his thought process and how he works things out.
Yeah.
Like, he's a fucking clever dude. You'd be easily lured into thinking he's just a fucking, you know, muscle jarhead, but
There's so much more to him.
Yeah, a lot.
So much more.
Same with Jack as well. Really good dude.
Yeah, all the guys are very switched on guys.
So you're heading up to support
Granite
the show
City.
at Granite City.
Yeah.
Your first time up there?
Nah, been up there twice before.
Good.
So, 3rd time this year.
Rob's a good dude, isn't he?
Yeah, he's fucking awesome.
It's a shame we're going away. I'd have loved to have come up. We're flying out tomorrow.
You'll have to come up to 2026.
I would love to come up because I mean George is in writing that thralls of bodybuilding and taking him up to see the guys and competition and just the hype because it's a whole atmosphere.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. I mean, imagine being 12 and going into the thick of that.
Yeah.
And seeing what it's like.
And the thing is, what's so good about the Granite City show, from what I've seen, is obviously I've been and watched a lot of shows. I've watched like the FedEx shows, PCA shows, and what makes the Granite City so special, and this is another thing I found with being in the army and things like that, and why I wanted to sort of get Scottish athletes on board with the brand, is that, like, when I was in the army, you had people from all over the UK, Manchester, Birmingham, all over. You had people in there from Scotland. And say if there was something going on or happening or whatever, like, it'd be like, Scotland would always be Scotland. Didn't matter what location they were from in Scotland, they all come together, they all stuck together no matter what. And I really like that. Whereas if anything happened with like the UK, the English lads, it'd be like Birmingham, like they'd all go into their
cliques.
Yeah. And what I liked about how the Scottish lads conducted themselves and all that sort of stuff is that's real community.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And a reflection of that is like Granite City bodybuilding, like the community and the support within those walls on that Sunday is fucking something else. It's like no other show.
It's a good buzz as well, and you want to support. You want to support the guys, and you want to. As much as we fucking shit house and a bit of rough and tumble and good banter back and forth. It's healthy for it, but it's also like it's pushing guys on, and you want the best for them. You want to see where they can go and what they can do.
Good. And like like I was saying, like the atmosphere in there on Sunday will be great.
Yeah,
like what the Scottish guys bring to that fucking bodybuilding show is like no other bodybuilding show I've been to.
Yeah.
Like you go to another bodybuilding show, it's all for the Instagram. Everybody's on their phones, like fucking. It'll be somebody's routine, and the crowd's just sat on there scrolling. Whereas like on thingy, everybody will be clapping, cheering. Like it's a really good environment, and like. Obviously, going up and being on stage, there's nothing worse than standing up there and it's a dead fucking crowd.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've just worked your bollocks off for months.
You fucking knocked your pan in for months to get up on the stage, and you're up there for, 90 seconds to maybe 3 minutes?
Well, not even that. It's 60 seconds.
60 seconds to fucking show off all your hard work and effort and diet and putting everything on the line, and then you get there and you want a bit of atmosphere.
Somebody's watching a meme of a fucking AI fucking black man as a hippo.
Farting into a jar and selling it on fucking OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's what the world's come to.
It's fucked. Yeah. we need to get back to the other side, man. So, come on, get a bit of normality in here.
That's it.
Where's Heavy Duty going? Where do you see it going? Or is it as fucking floppy as your size goals?
I just don't like talking about it.
Mate, you're fucking weak, man.
It's not weak.
It's weakness.
It's not weak.
Do you know what it's like? Do you know what fucking this is like? It's like people go, I want to get somewhere. It's like you left your house and you had to come up here. You've got a destination, you know where you want to go.
Oh, I know where the destination
is. It's like cunts is like, I'll just drive around the fucking streets.
Well, no, that's the thing is, I know where the destination is.
You just want to keep it secret.
Yeah,
that's all right then. As long as you've got big dreams, big goals, big aspirations.
I'm not a big talker about that sort of stuff.
Fucking beg to differ. Just fucking listen to you for hours. I think you're playing it down. You talk extremely well.
I knew you was gonna say that, but no, I've always got a destination.
Good.
I just don't talk about it until I'm there.
Right, it's fucking grey man activated here. The grey man, the old military. So don't say anything. No target on your back.
Yeah, just
get down, head down, and work hard.
That's it.
Good, mate. Well, thanks for coming on.
Oh, I've enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. We sneaked you off at the start. You don't know.
Yeah, that's fucking. Yeah,
it was subtle. Do you like that move?
Yeah, it was very good. It was well conducted, to be fair. Can't knock it.
You done all the hard work.
Yeah,
you done all the hard work. I was just the conductor. So well done, mate.
Yeah, thanks
for
very much.
coming on.
That's all right, no worries.
So hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Mount Mindset. We've got Ollie Cook, his story. What is the way to know that you have it in you? You've got that burning ember, you're going to start to look for signs. And those signs are you're going to be seeking information. You want more than what you've currently got in your life. And you're not afraid to go outside the norms, outside the town, outside the mentality to go and look for it. And even if you don't conform, you don't fit in, whether it be school, whether it be a workplace, or whether it be something as as strict as a military, then don't be afraid to pursue your dreams and start looking for the information. Read books, podcasts, get amongst the people that are going to bring out the best in yourself. If we can take anything away from Ollie's story, it's the fact that he didn't feel that he felt comfortable being pigeonholed into these places and wasn't afraid to go and explore that. Because the structures of society will pigeonhole you in there, and we want to make sure that you don't, and that you actually live the experience and the life that you want, and you go and pursue the dreams and whatever that may be for you. But don't be put off. Take the big, bold steps, and most of all, don't tuck in your shit. Do not tuck it in, regardless of what Ollie says. And these big, baggy pants. And if your path takes you to being around big tattooed juicy men, then you fucking follow that dream. You go all the way. If that makes you happy, pursue it. But most of all, push yourself, keep yourself physically strong, keep yourself mentally strong. Don't let anyone crack you. You know, as Ollie alluded to, there was guys there that put the pressure on him, and then they turned around and says, look, we really admire your guts for standing up for what you think. And he speak the truth of what we all thought anyway. Don't be afraid to rise up, and don't be afraid to not conform. Little anarchy is not too bad. So we hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Mount Mindset. We're on all the social media channels. Go and check us out. Go and hit up Ollie's page at Heavy Duty Gymwear if you like the stuff, you like the merch. I'm sure you'll love it. Go check it out. Go and order it there. He's got new stock. He does great videos. Follow him along on his Instagram page. If you want to see the behind the scenes and the raw talk, they're good fun. They're entertaining. Go check him out. But from me this week, that's a wrap.